Hello. Welcome to Charmed Persons. Thank you so much for joining us. I think that was a baby goat. As you can see, right there. Where is it? I need to see. Hold on. Yeah, right there. Down there. We're missing Evo, good old Morton Quincy. He will not be in today's session or a few of the upcoming sessions. He's got some, real life scheduling issues, so we will miss you, buddy. If you're seeing this, we love you. No, just kidding. We love you so much. And we hope you get back to us soon. So Morton will... I'll just go ahead and let you know Morton will be making his way away from the party here in just a little bit, but
he's fine. He's not sick. He's everything's good.
Yeah. Well, I thought I said scheduling.
Yeah. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah. Link down below to the GoFundMe. No, I can't put that out in the universe. I can't put that out in the universe.
Save Evan campaign.
Totally fine. Anyway, God, all right, we're already off the rails. Well, welcome back to session 2 of the new campaign set in Tayaroth. Last session, our party found themselves together on a caravan towards Barrington. I'm just music. Oh. This has been the travel music from the caravan from Hydre, a city in the Bahathian Empire, to Barrington, where our characters found themselves about halfway through the trip at the top of last week's session. We got to know our characters a little bit. They got to know each other even more. And then as our characters were continuing, they made camp, and we got to play a game of Verity or Virtue, and a lot of people were virtued to do a lot of things. But it was a fun game, a fun way of kind of learning a little bit more about our characters. And as we fell into that first night, a few things happened. A vision of a kind of windy sand pile with an ancient book sitting on top of it caused Flint to kind of have a heart-pounding tunnel vision. A horrifying dream of a portal with a large eye with a fleshy black leathery hide kind of encompassing the entire portal haunted Hugh's nightmares, and you brought the attention of these dreams to their mother, Rosie Pint, and they have discussed kind of what to do, and have expressed their worry that their other mother, Gilmarie Pentwee, back in Barrington, is in trouble. But as the party continued to make their way down the trek to Barrington, there was a log across the road in this grove that they came upon. And while they were there distracted, the 4 members of the Mercenaries Guild who were traveling with our party and 2 of the passengers suddenly turned on the party, pointing hand crossbows, daggers, and short swords at the party and demanding that it would be a robbery. However, our party quickly realized that they were all pretty capable and that they outnumbered the thieves and handedly defeated the outlaws before anything could really happen. A couple of the wagons in the back did catch fire. There was some slight property damage, but the fire, with the help of Edmund and Cuinn and Maewyn as well, the fires were able to be put out, and the wagons are still usable. The Rindala, the large horned, furry creatures that are pulling these wagons were unharmed, as were the horses that the Mercenaries Guild were riding. Right at the end of the session, as Cuinn started searching through some of the bodies along with Chad, the owner of this caravan, Cad Billwright, was angry with what had happened and felt guilty for putting his passengers in danger, and he walks over to Tank, kicking him, Tank being the leader of this Mercenaries Guild, or maybe now Outlaw Bandits, and a letter from Tank's breast pocket fell out, and Rosie found this letter and found it signed by someone called the Hawk. And in this letter, it was revealed that Rosie was actually the target of a kidnapping, but it was because she was originally named Gilmarie, which is the name of her wife and Yu's other mother. So that's where we left off. And with Rosie kind of like contemplating what's going on with this as she's reading the letter, and everybody else is searching through the bodies, we kind of come back into this moment. So Cuinn and Chad, Cuinn and Chad, go ahead and make investigation checks, or one of you can make them at advantage as you start searching through.
Rolled a 17.
Investigation. I got a 15.
15. All right, so you both make your way through the, other than Tank, the 7 other bodies relatively quickly, and find on them to be meager supplies. Each of them has a short sword, a dagger, and a hand crossbow and 10 bolts. Each of them also has 10 gold pieces on them, but 10 gold pieces worth of coinage. There's various denominations. There's some copper, there's some silver. But 10 on
each of them had 10?
10 on each of them. With a 17, Cuinn, you were able to check 4 of the 7 bodies, meaning you have 40 of the gold. And Chad, you would discover 30 of it, as well as the various short swords, hand crossbows, and daggers. All of pretty shoddy make. Nothing would be better than any equipment that you would have on your person, most likely. However, you're definitely free to grab some extra daggers or some extra bolts if you would like.
Do take a hand crossbow because I don't have one. So
okay, for sure. Go ahead and take one of those. I think it's called a hand crossbow. It's the D6 damage one. But yeah,
I give you all the bolts that I find, so you have just a shit ton of bolts.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna take the crossbow, so if I see you take it,
yeah,
here you go.
You could probably like wrap some twine and like tie together like 3 of the quivers, because they're relatively narrow. So you could probably comfortably carry around 30 bolts for that crossbow, hand crossbow. But more than that, and you're gonna start wanting to put them in your packs. Or something like that. But on your person, you could probably carry around 30. They're not super large.
I'm going to give May 20 gold and just be like, hey, paid for the trip. At least the trip was free, and I'll give her 20 gold.
I'd take... Okay. I still have Willem's dagger, and I'll just, like, grab 2 more and put it in my backpack, but I have Willem's on my person.
All right, sounds good. So, Rosie, you find this letter, and you've read what it says. What is Rosie dealing with? What does she do in this moment as she's kind of discovered this information?
Well, it's just so bizarre to me that anyone could get myself and Gilmarie confused. So I just don't really understand. And I'm saying this to everybody. We just don't look alike. We don't look alike. No.
Somebody's after mom. That's a real thing.
Well, it looks to be. Yes.
Wait, are you telling me that this kid was right the whole time?
Well, usually they are, yeah, but
Oh, buddy, I'm really sorry that I didn't really kind of
Right about what?
Well, do you want to tell him? Do you want to tell him what you told me? You don't have to if you're nervous. I'll tell you. But you're getting to be an adult now, so. want you to speak for yourself. Oh, sorry.
So anyway, I had this dream the other day, and I mean, Cuinn, you're part of the Palladium Panopticon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they tell us that the dreams mean things, and I had a dream about this creature. And it was I thought it was the voice of my other mom, but it was calling for me and reaching out from this void, and I was in Barrington, and then I woke up and I was afraid, and not like I'm usually afraid, but like really afraid. And I've been trying to get back to Barrington, but now these guys attack us, and they're looking for moms.
Gail is in Barrington.
Gilmarie.
Gil.
Gilmarie.
Gil.
Gilmarie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gil is in. Gilmarie is in Barrington.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's all gonna be okay. I think I'm not panicked yet, but I think maybe if we could move a
How
little
are you not
faster.
panicked, Mom?
Well, listen, hang on. Hang on. Sometimes it's no use getting all worked up about some things. So, Dune will protect us. Let's just keep moving forward together. We have a caravan and a couple other caravans, so let's go. Yes?
I could run. Like I know I
We have horses.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Chad.
happy
We
to
got
just run.
horses.
Like
yeah,
you
You're not that fast.
You want to take a horse?
I guess that's true. We could
If
we
a
could
few
take
of
one
us
of their
wanted
horses.
to grab the horses and ride ahead, I guess we could do that.
Yes.
Does
Yeah,
anybody
let's
know
go.
who the hawk is? Does anybody know anybody?
Did you show the letter to everyone?
Oh, yeah.
I can. Do you want me to read it?
It's
can
up to
you
you. Or I can.
Yeah, I would have definitely been like.
Okay, well then I will show it to.
Everyone.
Everyone come through the story.
I will
Really
show
good
it
one.
to everybody then.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
I will put it all in your inventory, and then I will go ahead and read it for our viewers.
Do
So-
it in the voice of the hawk, so we know when we come across the hawk.
I almost did it. You
Do
shouldn't
it
have
as
like.
the hawk, but
That's
as
so
the
funny.
reading it.
Okay, so
read it as Rosie.
I'm gonna read it as me. I'm gonna go ahead and read it as me.
No, do a fun voice.
Tank! Okay, here we go. Alright, so the letter says, Tank, you wanted to play with the big lads? Well, I have an opportunity for you. Patchworks is going to have a caravan leaving Hydre on the 5th of Helman, bound for Barrington. This isn't your normal smash and grab. This is your first test, Tank, for you and the Green Snakes. I have a contact at the Mercenaries Guild in Hydre. Her name is Pilsa, grumpy old gal. She knows you and the 3 others are coming. She'll outfit you and assign you to the caravan. Have the rest of the snakes wait in the normal spot, normal distraction. Grab what you can, but most importantly, grab a small elderly gnome woman named Gilmarie Pentwee. However, in the letter, the name Gilmarie Pentwee is crossed out, and someone else, presumably Tank, has written Rosie Pentwee. Traveling with her son. Do what you want with him and the rest. But bring her to me. I'm sure she'll be speaking of Dune the entire time. Shouldn't be hard to spot. This is your shot, Tank. Don't fuck it up. The Hawk.
I wouldn't have said that last part.
Now I only hear it as RuPaul. Don't fuck it up.
And then there is a symbol on the bottom right of the letter of a skull encircled by a noose.
I don't know what the hawk is, but I hate birds.
Me too. I also hate fucking birds.
Yes. They think they're all smug flying
What?
around.
You
I
hate
know.
birds? What
I
did
know.
they like
They
attack
can
you or
fly, and I
something?
can't. Well, they can fly. I can't. I just don't like them buzzing around my head.
I live my life
I
underground.
mean, I think you're maybe thinking of like flies, not birds. If they're
It's a
buzzing
really
around
big
your head.
generalization, Quinn. We need to work on that.
Fuck birds. All right. Does anybody know what that symbol means? Anybody see that? Had I seen that symbol before?
You have not. I will allow both you and Rosie to make history checks.
Oh wow. Okay.
It also sounds like they were after you, Rosie, and not Gilmarie.
Yeah, this is. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I'm trying to think about. I'll go back in my journal and see if I made anyone upset in any way, but I don't think. I can't remember
So-
making anyone mad.
But they were definitely looking for you, not your wife.
Well,
Sorry,
No,
do the
they were
roll.
looking
Do the roll
for
first,
Rosie.
and then I'll.
yeah, but they
Not me.
confused me for Gilmarie.
Gil Marie a small gnomish woman?
I don't
No,
know.
she's
no.
she's tall.
You don't know?
She's tall.
Oh, I do know.
I don't know.
I do know.
I don't know what my wife looks like.
Is it possible that someone happened to know your wife's name, and the name was what they got, but found you and described you?
Well, it is likely. She is very popular amongst the political elite, I think. I don't really know kind of what she does, but I know that she's good at it.
All right, sounds like we'll get along just great.
But not a small gnomish woman.
No, she's taller. She's
What did Rosie and you get on their history checks?
I got a 7. I'm very distracted.
I got a 16.
16.
That's my smart kid.
Rosie, yeah, you don't recognize this symbol. This is not something that you would have run into often, if ever, in your time in Barrington, just because where it is present are circles that Rosie probably would not find herself in. However, you also don't roam in circles where this symbol is super prevalent. However, there have been a couple of occasions in your younger years where, whether it be a dare from somebody else in the paladin training with you, or should I say a virtue, or venture, and whether it's, for some reason or another, you has found themselves at a place called the Flowing Flagon. The Flowing Flagon is the diviest of dive taverns in the southeast district, where you and Rosie call home in the city of Barrington. The Flowing Flagon is known... You would know that the Flowing Flagon is known as the place where the ne'er-do-wells of the Southeast District find themselves. And you remember seeing this symbol on some leather armament of a couple individuals in that tavern. But that's where you remember it from.
Okay. So, like, I haven't been there, but Jeff has told me, Mom, that this is the symbol of some guys that they hang around at the near the Flowing Flagon. Jeff was at the Flowing Flagon. He was just
You've been to the Flowing Flagon?
No, Mom.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't been. I haven't been.
It
to the
seems
I do
Flowing
an
like-
insight check to see if he's been to the Flowing Flagon.
Sure, yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check. Makes sense that Cuinn would try to smell some bullshit.
12.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a deception check for your mother as well, you.
I rolled an 18, so it's a 22 total.
Yeah, I would say Cuinn believes you. Go ahead and roll an insight check, Rosie, and I'm gonna give you advantage as the child.
You.
As you.
I got a 15.
Yeah.
So still didn't.
Yeah. No. You're appalled that they even know of the existence of this place, but you trust that they've never been there.
Yeah. Well, that Jeff, I don't really like him.
Well, I know, Mom, and I don't even really hang out with him anymore. But like,
Yeah. Well, listen.
So the like a mercenaries guild or like a.
that's what Jeff said.
I don't like.
But it was like on armor, so they're like decked out, kind of.
You remember that it was on armament, but it was not a symbol proudly displayed. Not as in they weren't not proud of it, as in it was. This was a discreet group.
Yeah.
Mm.
They
was
would
their name
know if
again?
they were looking, but not everybody sees it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
What was their name again? You?
It was.
Jeff.
You don't.
The group.
Yeah.
You don't know the girl, you just saw the
I don't know
symbol?
the name of the group.
They just saw the symbol at that place. Yeah.
Their symbol was a noose with a skull inside of it. Seems like they're a fun group.
Yeah, it seemed like they're really happy people.
A lot of times the symbol is worse than the actual group, you know. But
Well,
from
let's
what I-
hope so, because as we're sitting here talking about this,
I was gonna say we should probably walk and talk,
anxious.
and I mean, I get either run or with a
Oh,
horse.
well, what are we going to
Yeah.
do about this? And Edmund just kind of gestures to all of the completely destroyed bodies.
I don't think there's anything left to do with them.
We can
We're just gonna leave them on the road then.
burn them.
Well,
They would have done the
guess.
same to us.
Well, right,
Fair.
but okay. Well, I'm learning a lot about Quinn here.
You can throw them into a bottomless pit. That's what
Morton,
do you wanna- do you wanna burn them? What do you-
Morton, you stay here and deal with the bodies.
You know, I wouldn't mind, because I definitely. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not gonna just leave these bodies here.
really.
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
clearly had a problem with how this was handled.
And I have a problem with how you're continuing to handle it.
Well, but we gotta protect the living.
He's not
Yeah, I think
wrong,
if we-
Morton. Maybe we should just kind of push him off to the side.
We roll up with a wagon full of dead bodies to Barrington. I've never been
Oh,
there,
yes.
but I assume
Yeah, I'm not traveling with a wagon.
that would be.
All right. Well, listen. I just asked for a horse, please.
Well, there's one.
Is this Morton?
These are
Yes.
our horses. I assume we can take, can I call it dibs on Tank's horse? That just I liked that horse ever since the beginning. He seemed like a cool dude. So, not Tank, the horse.
Also, I don't know how you guys didn't think that was immediately a trap. That was pretty obvious to me. I think I'm gonna look at the
Alright.
leader and just be like, I think you should really maybe keep your
Start
head out of
blaming each other. Let's not start blaming each
I'm
other.
not blaming
All right,
anybody.
listen. I hired the Mercenaries Guild for a reason. All right, I that's not necessarily my specialty. I've got a trusting
That's
heart.
true. Nothing wrong with
That'll
that.
get you in a lot of
Nothing
trouble.
wrong.
I can't believe they're bandits.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Whatever happened to a good, honest day's work,
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
I know.
I don't say that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm definitely going to be reporting that Pilsa. I've worked with her many times. Never really liked her. Now I see why.
Whoa. That's a good point. We have a name of somebody.
Oh, I've written it down in my journal.
Pilsa's the one you hired the
if we-
mercenaries from?
Pilsa was the contact in Hidray that armored them and made them a part of the Mercenaries Guild.
We might be able to find out more information about who sent these guys. So maybe
Yeah.
don't say anything. I mean, look
Hey,
at the
listen,
way-
I already did not listen to you when I screwed up, so I'll listen to you on this one there, you.
Yeah, I will.
The
listen
wisdom
to
of
my
the
friends.
youth, This isn't how I talked last week.
This is exactly how I remember your voice.
Yeah, I think it seems. I remember because I had to try.
All
not to
right.
also.
Okay, great.
Let's move this log and then we can get moving, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's I think the first thing.
Somebody
so-
wants to move this log. Who's Chad?
Oh yeah, I probably got it. Let me try. I'll just go up and try to just shove.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. You cannot move this fucking little tree by yourself.
Hey guys,
It's
I can't move
rough.
it. I can't do it.
But I will
okay,
say,
yeah, two people. Let's try it.
I will say for
Pretty
the sake of brevity, you guys are able to, because Cad was doing this anyway before the attack happened. You're able to hook up some Rindala to the log. Maewyn is definitely able to kind of keep them calm after everything that has happened. You're just naturally very good with animals, and you're able to keep them calm and able to make pretty short work of this log. Drag it out of the road. Hitch the Rindala back up to the wagons, and you are on your way. Do the people on horses, are you actually riding ahead?
How many horses are there?
There's 3 now if you leave one for Morton, who starts digging.
I mean, if you and I want to take a horse and
I'm gonna say we're all
Me and
small,
Meg
so
can
two of
over.
us
Sit on a horse,
can
yeah.
easily fit.
then Flint and Rosie.
We could probably all get on horses. Well, then we
Oh,
leave.
Horses.
I might be
I
a
don't-
little too old for a horse. I
Yeah.
might stay in the
I don't know if we should
caravan.
just leave the hog swines. What were they called? The swine swindlers? Have them written down.
Yes, they were
The Rindals?
the horn swines, yeah.
Horn
Horse
swines.
I mean,
They're the only other people, right? Us, the horn swines, and
The father and
Cad.
son duo of the horn swines and Cad, yeah.
Well, remember when I said I hate birds? I'm gonna extend that to all animals. So I'm just gonna chill
Oh.
on the caravan.
wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
Well
Sorry.
then,
I
guess
just hate birds.
I wouldn't
That's
mind some,
how
some
Hate
protection.
is a strong word.
We're only a couple, the rest of this day, and then towards the evening of tomorrow we should arrive. So.
I say we stick together. We don't have anybody protecting us, and I think we work better as a group. But that's just me. Chad, you look like you can handle yourself.
Generally, yeah.
What do you mean protecting us? We're protecting us.
Yeah, but we protect me.
Oh, well, then maybe. I mean,
I do feel like I need to protect Quinn.
May definitely
no.
needs to stick by my side.
Sure. Then maybe it is just me
You
and
guys are so cute.
you go ahead and like you guys make sure the caravan. A horse is gonna be faster even if it's just a day. You know, we could just jet super fast. You know.
All right, but what are
so-
you gonna do when you arrive there?
Check on his mom.
Right.
That's all. That's all. That's as far as I got.
I mean, yeah, that's what more could we do? I know, and like.
If you two want to go out alone into the
I
dark,
just
scary
exactly. I don't
forest,
know
feel
if
free.
there's a reason why mercenaries guilds and caravans are the way that people travel over this land. I just.
Fair.
I mean, Edmund kind of looks over at you, Rosie, and he's like, "Are you sure you're willing to, you know?"
Well, if I'm the target, then they're gonna be a heck of a lot safer, maybe out there with a faster mount than.
Could be right.
know.
However, your son was mentioned in the letter.
Yeah, but not as a target, really, just as a way to know it was me.
I just know what I would do if it was mine.
Well, you was becoming a little adult, and I have to really, I've been through this many times, and I'm really just trying to let go. So I think that if they think that they can do this, then they have to try.
All right, no judgment here. I just wanted
I
to
mean,
check
May
in
can
with you.
definitely protect us. That's not an issue. So.
And I'm gonna cup Yu's face before they get on the horse, and I'm gonna say, "Can you do this?" And I get so close, my eyes go cross a little bit. Can you do this?
Yeah.
You be safe?
Yeah. You be safe.
Yeah. You be safe, you. And
Safe.
you tell Mama Gil we're coming for her, okay?
Of course. Chad,
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you. Do you want to take Monkey with you? I know you're worried. He might make you feel better.
Oh my god! And I leave. I walk away. I'm sorry.
Monkey needs to keep an eye on Mom.
I turn to Rosie and hand you Monkey.
Okay, everything's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's
Oh.
gonna be okay.
I'll do the same face cup that Rosie just did, but to Rosie. I promise I won't let anything happen to him.
Okay.
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 Oh, I love all of you already, I think.
I think.
I think.
All right, give me just a.
I do want to walk up to Rupert before we leave.
To who?
Rupert, Hornswine.
Oh, okay. Yes. Hold on, just a second.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Ugh.
Blessings of Dune upon
bless you.
Thank you.
Oh my Dune.
Do you say Dune it instead of damn it? Is that what?
Gosh,
don't-
Dune
oh.
it.
Gosh,
Gosh,
Dune it.
Dune it. Aw, heck.
Dude,
Oh, heck it all to Dune.
Oh gosh.
Heck it all to Dune.
What's Dune's son's name?
Jesus.
Dooney.
Jesus Christ.
Diesel.
Dooney.
That's his-
Dune Jr.
Dune and his son Diesel.
Diesel. He rides a motorcycle across the heavens.
Jeez, I love Diesel.
Big fan of Diesel.
But it's spelled like DEIYSAL or something. Some
Diesel.
fantasy way.
Yeah.
God. Oh.
Okay, listen, I don't hate animals. I just don't like them a lot, okay?
We should talk about that.
I really don't like birds. Just specifically.
All right. Well,
birds.
listen, Flint.
should
If
talk more about that,
Flint's dislike of horses is the only, well, I guess we would be leaving Cad behind. All right. All right, you and Chad. Good luck.
We'll double time it on the carriages. Maybe travel throughout the night if we can.
Yeah, I was woke up.
I won't mind that. Listen, I just if we can just, you know, I'm willing to do anything. I just feel so guilty about all of this happening. I've trusted.
Do we get a refund? Is that a possibility?
Oh,
You could talk to your manager or something.
Yeah, you did kind of fuck up a little bit.
Well, you was right. They were the ones that said the right things.
Right. Okay.
Maybe just like half or something. You can think about it on the way back.
No, I mean I want to do right by my. You know, this is I will. For sure, I can give a refund. Definitely. Yep.
Wow.
Full refund. Great. Thank you.
Yep.
I want to telepathically, with my helm of telepathy, to Cuinn say, "You found 20 gold. This is mean."
Just stare at him. Stare at him.
I don't travel with that much gold usually. I have two, you know, accounts, one in Hydray and one in Barrington. So when we get to Barrington, I won't mind at all.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's okay.
No
Cuinn and I don't need a refund, but thank you.
Yeah, no, this wasn't your fault.
All right.
Man,
Well, you know, we
like-
can discuss when we get there. But I
Cuinn
will
doesn't
say
need a refund,
before
but thank you.
before Chad and you write off, I will say all of you, you know, really handled yourselves quite well. And you know, I just, as another thank you, just because I know often when people are coming to Barrington, they're often coming, you know, for work, and I know that that's something that Chad has mentioned, and you know, Flint, I know you're new to the adventuring lifestyle. So anyway, my sister Frida, Bill, right? She's got a honey business, right? Some of the best honey you're ever going to find in all of Tayaroth.
Oh.
It's really, really good stuff. But recently, her supply caravans coming in from the north, from the Illadrin Wilds. They've gone. They've been completely attacked, left asunder. None of the honey's really been taken, mainly just destroyed. And there's. Well, I can just go ahead and tell y'all, I'm sure there's been no survivors, you know, and I definitely know that
Honey?
she's been, listen, I have no idea. I know that, you know, Frida is, she's a wealthy woman, my sister, and I know that she's looking for discretion and assistance. And so, you know, I just, as another thank you, I just kind of wanted to give you that lead. When we get into Barrington, I can definitely introduce you, so just wanted to put that out there.
I'm not really a big fan of bees.
All right, I understand that. I will say there's usually no bees. It's like kind of post
the
bee.
honey. Right.
But
I'm interested.
okay, all right, okay.
Do you think that we could get paid in honey?
I think that that's definitely
Oh, that
something
sounds
she would be
lovely.
very willing to do for sure, because
Gold.
got lots of that.
This is local.
Gold.
She called, you know, as she says that honey, that's liquid gold there, you know. So,
Right.
Helps with allergies.
sure. There's a lot of
Unless
things.
you're allergic to honey.
It's a
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
yeah.
Then it doesn't.
You know what? Now it's so funny that you say that. My brother Roderick, he is allergic to honey, and him and Frida have butted heads on this.
Chad.
Oh, I'm
Quite
sure.
some time.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Chad.
you recognizing the similar patterns of continual conversation that his mother has presented many a time. They get on the horse with Chad, and Tid get going, and you guys take Tank's horse and start barreling down the path while the rest of you get in the caravan and start heading in the same direction. It's kind of like mid-ish to evening-ish right now, mid-afternoon to evening. Yeah, mid-afternoon to evening. So, you know, you and Chad, you guys travel for probably 3.5, 4 hours at a pretty speedy pace as the sun is coming down to settle for the night. Where you are at right now is probably going to be like a kind of open plain area. So do you continue to ride through the night? Do you, you know, pull off and just kind of have an open fire on a off the side of the road, or what do you do?
I would suggest that we continue through the night, and if you wants to nap, he can, but I'll stay awake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that we should push on.
Okay. All right. As you travel through the night, it gets the first chunk of the night is relatively, easy and eventless. However, once it gets about probably the moon's pretty high in the sky, once it gets to be 1 or 2 in the morning, you think it's the horse is needing a rest. The horse is tired at this point. So you start to, no matter how much you're trying to move it forward, it starts to kind of slow its gait and starts to breathe a little bit heavier. So what do you do?
I think if we just take, a quick short rest, maybe just, a couple hours, let the horse chill. I can keep an eye on things, make sure nothing comes, and if you want to take a quick, again, nap, I'll just see if I can pour some water for the horse, and once the horse seems to be good, we can just keep going again,
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Okay.
As you kind of pull off to the side of the road a little bit, the horse the horse immediately, once you are off it and kind of lead it off to the side of the road, the horse lays down itself, just extremely exhausted. I mean, it's been running at a fast pace for hours at this point. You've not broken the horse. The horse is fine and will be okay after 2 or 3 hours of rest, but definitely pretty exhausted. And as you kind of let you sleep and take a nap, you stay up and keep watch. Chad, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. That is a 23.
23. About 2 hours into this rest that you have, you see off in the distance, currently about 200 feet away from you, slight moving and shifting of Ian, can you mute your audio?
Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. And you start seeing this shifting and flowing of grass, but not from wind, as if creatures are moving. You see about 3 lines or 3 areas of this happening, and it's kind of moving closer to you.
I'll go over. I'll stand between where as much between, since there's 3 of them, between the grass area and you and the horse.
Okay.
I'll just make sure to move myself there, and then as I do, kind of nudge you awake, and just say, "Hey, think a little something in the grass. Don't make any crazy movements. Maybe it'll just pass by, but just wanted you to be awake in case something happens." And I'll have my hands on my scimitars in case something crazy is about to happen.
Yeah, so as you are as Chad kind of gestures in and points to the direction, you can now also see these 3 kind of lines breaking through the tall grass heading towards you. They get closer and closer, stop about 50 feet out, and the movement just kind of stops.
This is only after an hour or so?
It's about 2 hours.
2 hours? Okay. Here, I think if they've stopped, maybe we just grab the horse and go, and not try to wait for these guys to jump out. I'm assuming they're just little critters, but I don't know.
You starts getting up and moving towards the horse to
Okay, as you gets up and makes their way towards the horse, The 3 lions start to slowly inch a little bit more forward. They're about 40 feet away now.
Okay, don't move, don't move. Do we not go slow and just like jump on the horse and go super fast?
About 30 feet away now.
I think we should just go
towards 30 feet. I like move towards the horse, but also do thaumaturgy to create tremors on the ground, like at the lion's like feet.
Okay, go ahead and roll a. Roll a intimidation check.
Can I help him if I just go as I hear that, see that happening?
Sure, yes. Go ahead and roll it with advantage.
Yeah.
It was a 14.
14. Okay, I'm going to roll
Nothing is bad. Everything's great. Everything's fine and good and fine.
Yeah.
I love being a mom.
You've got other kids. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Is that why you have so many kids? Just
A few of them have died in unsavory ways.
Oh no. Oh no.
not bad idea to have backup.
I rolled 3 wisdom saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 5, a 2, and an 8.
Yes.
So you and Chad kind of like, you jumps up on the horse. Chad like gets up and screams and then smacks it on its ass, and then jumps up as well. The horse just just jumps up immediately with both of you on it. As that happens, the trimmers start to shake as you just kind of like, as you jumped up onto the horse, the stomping of their foot just like causes these tremors to happen, and you see 3 quite large lionesses jump out of the tall grass, and just immediately, like, their hair on their back is standing up, their tails are up at a 90-degree angle, and they just book it. Immediately just start running away from all of you, and the horse runs in the opposite direction as well. And you have escaped this encounter. The horse is much faster than the lions. Not much faster, but faster. Especially after they've been scared. So you start immediately booking it. And you see that the lions like run away from you and then like circle back and start chasing you for a bit, and then realize that there's nothing that they can do, and they just stop and kind of go off to the side. Chad and you continue traveling throughout the night as we...
For the next 30 minutes, Chad just tells you how cool that was, and great thinking, that would have been bad, oh my god. And it's just about the whole thing.
As we cut to the caravan, evening is starting to fall as we kind of like go back in time a little bit. And Cad lets all of you know that he is going to go ahead, due to your request, and stay awake. And these Rindala, one of the reasons why he uses them is their sheer unnatural amount of endurance. And so he is going to, there's only a day and a half left of travel, and he knows that they can do that nonstop. And so he is just going to, it's going to still be at a normal pace. But at this point, it's going to be, you're going to kind of even out in a way that's like, you and Chad will most likely arrive early morning, on the 19th. And then, or no, on the 20th, and then you guys will arrive kind of like a little bit after noon on that same day. Because the horse definitely still needed to rest, so it wasn't incredibly faster, but definitely, I mean, got you there hours earlier.
A couple hours. I did want to talk to Rupert and just be like, hey, the security kind of died, kind of your new security. It's not free, it's not cheap, we do have to, there's a lot of overhead that I got to do with my managers and everything, it's pretty expensive. I just want to, whatever you're willing to throw to us,
as this
more than
caravan,
appreciated.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me about Rupert, I apologize.
You're fine.
And so as this caravan is continuing throughout the night, Rosie is probably still up in the front talking and chatting away with Cad, especially with the absence of you. You are there in the front wagon as well, talking to the Hornswines. Rupert kind of looks at you, and he's just like still pretty shaken from everything that happened. And he's like, well, right, I understand that, things... Cad, are you not paying your new security? And Cad kind of speaks up and he's like, I didn't know that this was a kind of an official thing that we were doing. I thought, you guys were... I said I would appreciate that I'm giving full Okay,
whatever you want, whatever you feel is right. Donations are accepted.
Make a persuasion check.
18.
18. Hold on. He looks at you. All right. Well, to be fair, you're only being security for around a day. I can toss you 5 gold per person.
Whatever you feel is necessary. I can pay everybody. Don't worry about it. I'll send it along to
All
everybody.
right, good. Once again, just when we get to my account in the bear. Okay.
Don't mention it. Yeah, that's fine. Don't tell anybody else. I kind of handle everything.
Okay. All right. Well, you or Rosie is there.
I know.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. He's like, all right, yeah, for sure. And then Rupert kind of looks back at you and he says, see, I don't know necessarily why you brought this complaint to me, but you're welcome. It's been handled. That'll be 1 gold piece.
Much appreciated. 1 gold piece to you?
Well, you needed my communication skills, which are something that I've harbored over many years of experience.
Most certainly did not need your communication skills.
Oh, but you came to me instead of the... you see,
I was going direct to the person hiring the mercenaries.
Well, I was not the one hiring the mercenaries. Cad is the one that hired the mercenaries. You see, I understand that you like to consider yourself a little successful businessman. However, I am a successful businessman, and you do not swindle a swindler, my good sir.
Hey, Rupert, back off, dude.
I'll just kind of fold my arms.
Roll an intimidation check, Flint.
This is coming from the person who was just like, no, just die.
Just die.
15 intimidation.
15. He's kind of like, he's been very cocky as he's looking over at Cuinn, and then Flint says that, and he remembers what Flint did.
Yeah.
So, I'll waive it this time. Lesson learned.
I'll turn around and be like, thank you, Flint.
Hey, can you play some of that instrument that you play?
Sure can.
As you all kind of like find yourselves asleep throughout the night, the next morning you wake up, you're still traveling, able to find some sleep. There's a lot more room on the caravans now, so you're able to kind of put your bedrolls down. I would say who would be in the middle wagon at night? So it's like that scene aside. The Hornswines are in the front wagon. Cad's in the front wagon driving. Edmund is in the middle wagon. And then where would the rest of you put yourselves?
I think I'd be in the middle wagon.
Okay.
Whoever May would be, I think we've been kind of chilling in the back wagon most of the
Yeah,
time.
we've been in the back, so yeah.
And then Rosie, would you stay up front, or what would you do?
I think now that you is gone, I might have some time during the journey gravitated toward the back wagon and started talking to May a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially because she gave me the little chipmunk.
Love it.
I probably would have asked her about her parents, if they were good parents. How does she feel? Does she feel that her parents did well by her? Does she need more parents?
More parents.
I would, hopefully with Quinn's help, try to change the subject a lot about parents. Just be like, yeah, we ran around a lot. Our parents were always busy, and
then I would say, well, until the accident.
The what?
I don't want to talk about it, please.
Yeah.
That's kind of lower my head.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. All right.
Um,
All right.
Quinn will tell you that story another day.
I'll immediately start knitting a pair of fingerless gloves for Quinn so that he can still
Aw.
play the saxophone, but his hands will be warm.
Awesome.
That's so cute.
They're purple.
I would say by the time you get to the city of Barrington, easily that enough.
I got small hands.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, but pretty actually a little bit bigger than Rosie's hand.
Oh yeah.
As you all awake the next morning, Flint, you're in the middle wagon. You wake up to a slight kick in your side. Oi! Who the fuck are you?
I'm Flint.
You look you look over and you see an elf, a high elf, with long pointy ears, short red hair, kind of like spiked up. They're currently wearing really long billowy robes with kind of like a reddish orange hue. And they have a silver staff that looks pretty familiar. This is Edmund's staff for sure. Kind of at his side, and he kind of looks at you. Who the fuck are you then?
Wait. Who the fuck are you?
I'm Lucas.
Okay, this is crazy, and but why are you holding that staff? That is clearly not yours.
Yeah, right. This is my staff. I woke up on this wagon. I don't know how the fuck I got here. So how did I get here? And who the fuck are you?
All right. So, I don't know how you got here, and you've come on very strong. And not only that, you've woken.
You put me on this wagon. I don't know who the fuck you are.
I did. Listen, Lucas.
What?
Lucas.
Yes.
Lucas.
Yes, Flint.
All right. Let's just calm down.
All
I
right.
don't know how you got on this wagon, and frankly,
Well, do you know how you got on this wagon?
I walked on it while it was stopped.
Right. Okay, but where were you?
I'm taking this caravan to Barrington. Now, are you going to Barrington?
Oh, I'm not supposed to be going to fucking Barrington. Why the
Wait,
fuck
where's
are
Edmund?
we here?
Wait, do you know who Edmund is?
What a right fucking cunt. Are you kidding me? And he stands up and jumps out of the wagon. And he just starts like pacing next to the wagon as he's like walking next to the caravan. I can't believe that bloody... Oh, I can't believe he would... What a fucking scaredy cat.
Hey, Lucas, you're gonna have to elaborate just a little bit. Where's Edmund? Why do you have the staff? Why are you so combative?
This is my staff. Edmund just borrows it, and he's not here right now. All right.
Where is he?
It's very hard to explain. Okay, it's just he's protected. Okay, and he's too scared to be where I am right now, and so I'm the one that has to fucking be here.
I see what's going on. You and Edmund are the same person?
Do not fucking compare me to Edmund Praetor. No, I'm not Edmund. I am someone different. I'm the one who protects us.
Interesting. Are you dangerous?
I don't know, are you?
Yes.
Alright, well I can be too, you know what?
Okay. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on. I was gonna ask Edmund some questions, but he doesn't seem to be here right now, and I don't want to talk to you because you're coming off a little strong.
Well, listen, alright? It's very hard to explain to people, but Edmund is in here, alright? So, just, he's fine. I'm the one who protects us, alright?
Okay. How often does Edmund come out?
Whenever he doesn't feel like a fucking wuss.
Okay, I see what's going on here. It's This is classic. All right, I'm actually gonna go back to sleep, Lucas. And because you woke me up, and that's the second time I've been woken up, and I really like to sleep. I sleep a lot.
Right. All right. So who do I fucking ask about what the fuck is going on here then? If not you.
Well, I mean, you could ask Cad. He's up in the first caravan. I mean, you could talk to Rosie. It's always fun.
Rosie, you, as you're stirring for the morning, you hear your name said, and May and Cuinn, you kind of like hear Flint talking to this figure who you do not recognize their voice. And if you kind of look at the caravan and look at who it is, you do not recognize them. Edmund is a human with long black hair, slightly tan skin. This is a taller elf, high elf with long ears and short red hair. Yeah.
Hey everyone, this is a classic case of Lucas and Edmund are like the same thing maybe, and they come out at different times. So if you guys want to handle this, I'm actually going to go back to
if you want to handle this. Right.
Why do you...
So who are you all then? Are you the ones who...
See.
I'm Lucas, and I just want to know why the fuck I'm on this caravan.
We haven't seen Lucas for the past week.
You've not seen Lucas at all. You do not know who this person is.
Well, wasn't there a person in the I have the name Lucas written.
Yes.
On the name of the caravan.
There was a Lucas who was a mercenary, but he was a halfling. He was like he was a human, but he did not look like this man at all.
Okay.
So you're Edmund?
No.
Kinda?
No. Nope.
Can I talk to Edmund?
I would fucking love it for you to talk to Edmund, but no, you can't right now.
Can I talk to Edmund?
No.
I would love to.
Listen, hello! Me,
Hi.
person standing right here, I'm Lucas. Edmund's
Hello.
gone.
Why?
What'd you do with Edmund?
I didn't do anything with Edmund. Listen.
Just do what you do with Edmund.
Have any of you ever heard of the Feywild?
Oh yeah.
No.
I have, and I'll raise my hand.
I would say that Rosie definitely has.
Rosie is the Feywild.
And I would say
Heard of it?
Flint, you've never heard of the Feywild.
I read a lot of books.
But yeah, but it's just also from being like nobles,
Heard of it, yeah.
nobles and being around like education, the two of you have probably heard of it for sure. But yeah, Flint, I would say you've not heard of the Feywild. But you're also kind of not dealing with the situation right now anyway. And he says, all right, well, listen, I can't do it like the others can. I've never was able to. It's something that I can't control. I am a... I don't have a word for it, for what, I'm different than you. I'm not human, right? But I'm not this either. I'm not... I can change what I look like. But it's not like...
Changeling? No, I don't know.
You know for sure that would be the name. That would be the name that you would know of. Well, I don't know what that is, but I can change my appearance. Yeah, right.
Just not at command.
No, not like the rest of my kin.
So we just have to wait until you turn back into Edmund.
Edmund he's the caretaker, right? He's the one that looks out for our emotions and make sure that we're feeling right. See, when he gets scared, did something happen? Hello? Did something big happen? Something scary?
Fire yesterday.
We killed like 8 people.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did.
Fuck. Well, that will explain it then. Yeah, he's really not good with violence. Doesn't handle it well. Gives him nightmares, and then the nightmares bring me.
So you're the one who burst out of the top of the caravan? That was you?
No.
That was Edmund? What's the first thing you remember?
Waking up next to that smelly old fart.
You hear loud snoring.
Last thing I remember is we were on our way to Fallen. We were gonna fight.
You were gonna fight?
Yeah, I wanted to try out my my abilities in the arena.
Oh, yeah. Like half the caravan was against us, and they attacked us, and we killed them.
Yeah, he's not really been good with taking the life of another. But listen, I know that this is weird, but Edmund's fine. He knows who I am and what I am. We just
can I do an insight check to see if I
go ahead and roll an insight check. Yeah.
19 plus 2, I think. 21. Yeah, 21.
I mean, this guy's for sure
20.
telling the truth, but that's very weird to you. This is not something... yeah, this is not something that you have run into in your life. This is not something that the medical clerics of the age have notes on, and if they did, you definitely wouldn't be privy to it. This is, first of all, the Feywild, as far as you know, is most likely real, but like if anyone's even been there or been from there, it's been centuries and could also just kind of be a myth. But what this person standing in front of you is saying right now, they are saying they believe it to be true 100%. And you seem a lot of frustration, and you see like an annoyance, but you don't see any deception in their eyes.
All right, well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just go. Yeah. You know what? That usually works. All right. I'm gonna go next to this
little, bedtime lullaby. I don't know if you.
All right. Yeah. I think I could do. Yeah. You know what? I'm not one against that. Right.
Oh, are we going back to bed?
It's like
Can we just wake up?
It's like sun. Yeah. It's like sunrise.
Going back to.
Yeah, but I actually would like to, if you could try it, right? And he just kind of like lays next to Flint and just cuddles next to Flint, like just starts like nuzzling next to him. And as you play this jazzy tune, go ahead and roll a performance check for him.
The sheer violence of the notes.
I rolled a 1 for performance, and now I rolled a 3. That's an 8 total.
8 total. It's not your best work. But, a simple lullaby is one of the first things you learn. So it definitely, it sounds as if you know how to play a lullaby pretty well. But that's like, if you were to ask to be doing anything else, you wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, of course you can.
I swear I'm pretty good at it. I swear.
As you see Lucas kind of like fall into their sleep, you see something that you've never seen before. You have ways of disguising your appearance, and when that happens, there's a very certain look about it. There's a very certain kind of like shimmer that occurs. You start to see the features on Lucas's face shift and change. As if someone was grabbing their face and it was made of clay and they started molding. And you see the visage of Edmund Praetor, who you've been traveling with, appear in front of you. The red hair darkens and lengthens, the skin kind of tans itself, the ears shorten and round. The long goatee, kind of trimmed goatee, I should say, kind of appears. And they're still in these orange and red robes. And as you kind of, with that 8, hit like a small discordant note, he kind of like stirs a little bit, looks up at you. He's like, "Oh, no, there's no way you've been here all night."
We just met. I already forgot his name. The other one of you.
Lucas.
What?
Lucas. We just met Lucas.
You see Edmund's eyes go very wide, and he kind of looks down at himself and sees the orange and red, and he grabs the collar and starts shaking the collar of these robes, and as the fabric billows and like flows, the reds and orange cool and become like dark grays and blues. As you see Edmund's like robes turn back into the color that you are aware of. They were such a drastically different color on such a drastically different person that you didn't notice that they were the exact same robes, just color scheme. And he kind of like shakes them out and then looks up at you all. Right. That's usually not something I let others in on. But then again, usually I don't go around killing other people. Please don't hurt me.
I wasn't planning on it.
Why would we hurt you?
If you don't try to hurt me, I won't try to hurt you.
Not gonna hurt you. We might hurt the other guy.
If you don't try to hurt me, May won't hurt you.
Oh, it sounds like you met Lucas. That's right. Listen, I promise I'm not gonna hurt you. My kind, well, let's just say when people find out who I am, it never tends to go very well. So, just I appreciate you not harming me, and I promise as soon as we get to the city, you'll never see me again.
Well,
Cool.
hang on a minute. Oh,
Sounds good.
who are you? Who are you besides you and the other one? Are you someone of great importance? Are you?
Oh,
do you need protection?
Oh, no, of course not. No, I am definitely not anyone of any importance. That's for sure.
Well,
I don't really have a memory of who I was before. I know that I'm. As well, be honest with you. I know that I'm from the Feywild. But the first memory I ever have is being Edmund. I woke up on the deck of a ship. It was in the middle of a storm, and crew all around me, it was weird. They all had this kind of translucent skin and grey, almost invisible features. From my education, I've learned that what my natural state must be. The ship full of my kind on a sea of black. And there was this flash of light, and all of a sudden we were on a sea of dark blue, and there was a storm raging, and all of my kind were just laying strewn about, and I looked like this, and I had no memory of who I was or how I got there. And I went overboard. And that's when I found this, well, it's like blue, kind of, like a vase maybe, or a kind of a jar of some kind. It was wrapped in the seaweed and kind of glowing, and as I looked at it, my heart just started racing, and I got vision, and I went towards it and knew I just needed to open the jar. As long as I opened the jar, I would be fine. And so I did, and something happened, another flash, I don't really remember, but I woke up on a beach. I was able to do what I was able to do.
You found a jar and you opened it. That's very interesting.
Just fucked up.
Yeah, just kind of curious about that. And I saw you kind of cast some magical spells back there.
Right.
How's that going?
It's interesting. I suppose if you already met him, I should tell you. Didn't come naturally at first, but eventually I started kind of getting control of it. Having these dreams of this storm ever raging over the ocean, and kind of learned how to access it in my waking days, and was able to, utilize that energy and kind of create the effects that you've seen me do. Kind of feels as if they're coming from another entity. It's hard to describe. Not quite sure what it feels, what it's supposed to feel like. I don't know what it feels like when you do your magic, or vice versa. But then I started having dreams of a forest fire, a raging one, tearing through woodlands. It's getting more and more frequent the closer I got to the Illidan Wilds, and I kind of was able to. Sounds strange, but I was able to track where I needed to go based on the frequency of the dreams. The closer I got to a certain area, the more often I would have the dreams. I got to the Illidan Wilds and I traveled through them, and it was a time of pure survival and fear. And I came across this clearing. I stepped into the clearing, and as I did, erupted in flame all around me. I just remember seeing this other jar, this other vase looking, this red, deep red, and I went over to it and I opened it up, and that's the last thing I remember. till I woke up days later in a town, and that was the first descriptions of Lucas I ever heard.
Do you still have the jar by chance?
He kind of pulls out from his robes these 2 necklaces, and wrapped in twine, and one of them has like a kind of deep blueness, and one of them has like a deep redness, and there's like a small jar vase looking item that is about like this big, attached to each.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna actually talk to you a little bit later, but I actually gotta go to sleep.
All right, it's is it not morning?
That's when I get my best rest.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when he takes the 2 things out to show us, can I cast Detect Good and Evil on them?
Yes, of course.
Have we gotten a long rest since yesterday or since the fight?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is verbal and somatic. So I think I would like to ask, instead of just doing it, I want to ask him if I can.
Kind of looks at you upon asking. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. I'm really not trying to hide anything.
Cool. So I'll cast.
Yeah, you kind of like grab the medallion of the holy symbol around your neck. Your eyes start to divinely glow slightly as you reach out. Just kind of wave your hand over these 2 items. Can you read the description of?
Yeah, it says for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes.
Okay.
I know if there is aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, as well as where the creature, or I guess the whatevers, are located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers blocked by 1 foot of stone.
You don't notice. So it's not a spell that tells you like the alignment of things.
No, it just if there is the presence.
For sure, yeah. The one thing that you do know is that these 2 items give you a very strong aberration feel. They feel from another plane. They feel other. They feel dangerous, but they don't feel good or bad. You know, you don't get a malice feel. You just get an otherworldly kind of like, you know.
So like the good danger.
Who knows?
Cool.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly. I can tell you exactly what that necklace is.
Really?
If you give me like 11 minutes with it, I could probably tell you what it is.
You know what? I
if you're ever interested.
maybe another time.
And not for nothing, like I'm trustworthy. I'm sure everybody here is cool. Maybe don't go showing everybody that.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Just word of the wise.
Yeah, I wouldn't show anybody that you have a tiny urn on a necklace.
Which is something now that you all are kind of thinking about it. When Flint tied his beard up into a little bonnet on the top of his head, all of you noticed a tiny little urn or vase wrapped in twine around his neck that was a dark brown color.
Oh, time to hit the hay.
For the 3rd time.
Hey, Flint, don't you have a necklace like that?
What?
You have a necklace? You guys match.
If you ever want somebody to know exactly what it is, I can look at it about 11 minutes.
You can look at both of them.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I guess I do have it, but I'm sure it's nothing.
What?
Where'd you get it?
My little urn. Oh, where did I get it? I actually can't remember. It's just kind of like heirloom, maybe.
That doesn't seem like the truth.
Listen, I didn't mean to start a whole thing. If the man doesn't want to talk about what he doesn't want to talk about, he doesn't need to talk about
we
it.
love honesty here, and you know we're in a position to not be dishonest with each other, Flint.
I'm staring at Rosie. I'm like, I can't lie to Rosie.
Don't lie.
All right. Well, this urn, I found it underground in a collapsed mine. A little bit similar, I guess, to you, Edmund. I just found it and I opened it, and then I went black, and here I am.
You ever have any dreams?
Yeah, I've had some dreams, you know, swirling winds, tornado, you know, the usual.
It seems like you guys should talk.
Right, yeah, perhaps I do think that would be useful.
I think that would work.
This has been quite a long morning, though, so I think that I'm just going to go ahead and get some jogging next to the caravan and do some stretching. Right.
Oh? Are you going to become Chad now? That's a good one, you guys.
Yeah. And he just kind of like makes his way out of the tent. And as the caravan continues to travel, we cut back to you, Chad. The rest of the night went well. Pretty eventless travel. The sun has risen probably about an hour ago, and the city of Barrington, up on the kind of small but large hill, in the grand scheme of the plains around it, the city of Barrington comes into view. I don't think Chad has ever been to the city of Barrington, correct?
I don't think so, no.
So what you see is a large circular civilization wrapped in 15 to 20 foot stone walls that just encircles the entire city, and it seems to be almost a perfect city. And you notice that there are some buildings that you can see over the walls, and then the further in on the city you get, the more the elevation slightly rises, as if, you know, because of the hill that it is on. It's not a huge incline, probably about like a 25-degree incline, but it's there, you know. And in the center of this city, standing about 150 feet maybe, you see a large ornate marble tower that is just gleaming and reflecting the light off of the rising sun, as the city of Barrington comes into view. Chad, you suffer a point of exhaustion for not sleeping the whole night, and you do not get the benefits of a long rest. You, I will say, with the napping here and there, are able to get the benefits of a long rest and do not suffer a point of exhaustion, unless you share the reins with Chad throughout the night. But I don't know if Chad. This doesn't look like Chad is not letting that happen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you gets pushed away enough, they'll you can stop trying.
Yeah. And you know, honestly, it's been a pretty eventful couple days for you. They took an amount of damage that they've never taken before, so rest is not necessarily something that they're completely against. Sure. And as you all, or as the two of you, approach the city of Barrington, you start to approach the west gates of the city, or west gate, I should say. It is about 15. It's pretty much, the gate pretty much goes all the way to the top of the wall, and then there's like a 2-foot length of stone at the very top, so that the guards can still walk across the top of the gate. But large iron bars that are currently open. The city is not perpetually closed off, just very well defended, which is something that you are very familiar with. And as you approach, you start to see various number of people kind of backed up a little bit, and various wagons and other horses as they are approached by guards of the city. The Lucian Guard of Barrington kind of has this like dark blue armor with long like dark blue cloaks, and then the symbol of Barrington on not only the cloaks but on the chest of the armor that you can see. and roll 20 in your handouts there. I'll show that to y'all. Normal process to go into a protected city. The guards just kind of approach everybody, ask what their business is. Most people don't even get checked. Most people are just kind of allowed in. Occasionally, some people who seem to be maybe outsiders or seem to be a little bit shady might get pulled aside to have their things searched. Very disgruntled about it. But for the most part, people are kind of able to get in. As you both approach the front of the city, go ahead, change ambiance. Start to approach the bustling city of Barrington. Quite large, definitely larger than Falland, Chad, but not as large as Bayhoth, and you've been to Bayhoth, so it's not the biggest city you've seen, but quite large, and you're mainly impressed with just how fortified the city is. It's definitely more fortified than Bayhoth. Bayhoth is probably... Bayhoth is pretty safe just from the sheer amount of, land that they have and, and where they're placed as the city itself. However, Barrington's, just stone and masonry work is very impressive. And as you approach the gates, 2 guards step up on either side. One, they're both with a spear. One on the right doesn't even say anything, but the one on the left kind of approaches and says, "Hi, welcome to Barrington. Good travels, I hope, befell you. What is your business here?"
He lives here.
Yeah, you could
So I'm
kinda
just
step in and hi. I'm from here.
Okay, great. Have a good time.
Thanks. Good to meet y'all.
The simple fact that you guys are smiling and giving eye contact is all right, sure, whatever. Go ahead and go on in. So as you start to make your way into the city, the stone streets of Barrington meet the hooves of the horse beneath you. Tank is pretty tired by the end of this journey.
Tank named his horse Tank.
Yes. Yes,
Amazing.
he sure did.
Tank 2.
Tank 2.
Tank 2.
Tank the second, Tank Junior.
Revenge.
Really just he called him every version of the second Tank that you can. The
Makes
second
sense.
coming of Tank. And as you enter the city, it is not what you were expecting, Chad. Quite a populous city, lots of people of all different kinds of species, which is something that is a welcome sight to you. Mostly humans and halflings are what you've seen. You're pretty familiar with orcs being from Falland, but not a lot of elves, not a lot of Goliaths, not a lot of Dragonborn, not a lot of basically any other species, and already you start to see various, just all kinds of species here in Barrington. It's one of the most diverse cities in Tayaroth. And that would be great if that was all that you noticed. However, you noticed that it's surprising to you that Rosie and you come from this city. Because they are the opposite of the vibes of this place. It is a place where everyone it's very New Yorker walking around, everyone has a just kind of resting bitch face on, just seems disgruntled, people get in each other's way, people get pissed about it. The Lucian guard who are walking around are either barely paying attention or flirting with a couple people on the street, not really noticing what's going on. You flat out see a chase happening where this kind of younger teenager is running away from a fruit stand, with just his shirt folded up with just a bundles of apples as he's running down the street, and the vendor is chasing him down. If it wasn't dark and stormy, or if it wasn't bright and sunny, you would feel like it's dark and stormy, and probably raining as well. I mean, it's very the alleyways seem dark, and the streets seem not taken care of. But as you kind of like, especially on horseback, you're able to kind of look up, and you see further into the city, there is another large 15 to 20 foot stone wall that encircles the center part of the city. And the buildings that you can see within that center part seem to be made of like marble or light colored stones, seem to be much more well maintained. There seems to be a brightness in that area. You're not unfamiliar with what this is happening here. You've got the slums, and then you've got the upper class. It just seems that the slums, quote unquote, take up probably 70% of the city itself. But you're here. You're in the city of Barrington. You know the direction to go. You start leading Chad kind of to the southeast. You pass by this kind of large park area, which you know to be Petal Breeze Park. However, there's like some trees and there's some like little small structures for younglings to like kind of find themselves on. There's mainly just large open area covered in trash. There's like a couple of tents from people. There's like a little tent village in the middle of it. There's some shady characters walking in and around. It looks like it was once a very beautiful place to come and kind of like spend your time, but right now it's not looking so great. And as you pass Petal Breeze Park and continue to head further into the Southeast District, which is where the Pintwe home is found. And I'm assuming because, time is of the essence, you've been hurrying, you're just heading straight to the Pintwe home, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you continue to travel further and further, you get to this like kind of small city street where the buildings are close together. It's like everything kind of has this like moist, dark stone feel. There's even some homes that literally have just like moss growing up the sides of their walls. It seems like this district of Barrington has not really been upgraded since the city was like built. Like all of the homes are very simple in build. And then you get a little bit closer to the Pintwe home, and there's a little bit more updated buildings, except they're quite large and expansive. They seem to be like kind of like medieval apartment buildings where they're like 2-floored or 3-floored, and kind of have, what would be considered like medieval apartments, honestly. The inn part without the inn. As you get further down this narrow road, the horse breathing very heavily, you see buttressed between two of these like apartment style buildings, and you can kind of see it as you're approaching. There's a 5-story home that is kind of peeking out amongst these buildings, and it is the main thing that you notice as you approach is how narrow it is. It like consider like very much like Order of the Phoenix, the house that like squeezes in kind of vibes. It is 5 stories tall, but probably fits like 2 rooms of like 15 by 20 on either on either side of like what would be a hallway in the middle. Like the rooms are small, it's compact, but you see a large, just kind of like wooden and stone building that seems to have at one point been painted white and yellow in various places. However, the paint is chipped and is falling off, giving it a very lived-in feel. But it definitely does stick out in the street. There's like a staircase that leads to the front door with a nice little iron railing, and then a little iron balcony on the porch. And along the porch there are just these baskets of plants that are hung and seem to be well watered and well taken care of. And the front door has this old wooden feel with these like 2 stained glass panes in the front that the symbol of Dune kind of like splits in between. And you have arrived at the Pentwee home. And as you're
so cool.
as you start to approach, before you can even get to the door bursts open, and you see this large half-orc individual step forward with just like kind of like just a sleeveless shirt, muscles ripping, and they have this like apron with gardening tools all around them, and they have like short black hair and these 2 tusks that come out. And you see Brewster, your older brother, come running down the stairs, and he takes you off the horse, not even paying any attention to Chad, and just starts like spinning you around, probably much faster, manhandling you more than you want him to, as he always does. And he just gives you a big hug. Oh, buddy, it's so good to see you.
I hug him and kind of forget, like, I was like, hey! And just, like, squeeze around his head, basically.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting stronger, buddy. I can't breathe. He kind of sits you down.
Where's Mama G?
Oh, she's, hold on just a second.
Where is
she's inside talking to Fan. They're talking about something that I definitely don't want to be involved in. They've been chatting forever. Fan came over before the sun even came up so that they could start talking about it.
But she's fine. She's safe.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider staying up all night looking at her books fine, then yeah, she's okay. What's going on, buddy? Are you all right? Wait a minute. Where's Mom? Who are you?
Looking down.
Yeah, he's like looking. He like looks under the horse. Like, what's going on, buddy?
I had another one of those dreams.
And he kind of, and as soon as he hears that, he like gets down on one knee and gets eye level with you. Really?
Yeah, it was about Mama G, and I just had to get back. This is Chad.
Hey, nice to meet you, Chad. The name's Brewster, buddy.
Heard a lot about you, Brewster.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've heard more about me than I ever want you to know. That's how Mama Rosie does it. So where is she?
Like
is she okay?
Oh, she's fine. We did get attacked on
What?
the road, but she's with other friends. And I had the dream about Mama G, and I just had to get back.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, here, come on. Let's get you inside. What are we gonna do? I don't know. Tie that thing to the. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna let y'all have your family moment, and I was gonna go find a stable, and maybe a place to get a bite to eat and stuff. So
Right.
I don't want to intrude. Like, you got your own stuff, you know, so I can just.
We've been traveling all night.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
You could eat here, right?
Yeah, we got
Right,
plenty
Brewster?
of food. Oh yeah, for sure. Just tie the little guy up. Tie him up right here on the railing.
Do we have
No
food
one's.
for Little Tank? He needs some.
Oh, little tank, how cute!
Yeah,
Oh, you
thank
are a little tank, buddy. Look at you. And he comes up to the horse and he's like, starts like manhandling the horse. Like the horse's like head is like being tilted, but the horse is kind of okay with it for somehow. And he's like, yeah, just tie him up. He's gonna be completely safe here. He's gonna be fine. He is not gonna be completely safe here. He will not be fine. Yeah, we got some food for him. Yeah, just go ahead and tie him up. We'll go get some food here. Come on in. Come on in.
Okay, yeah, sure. And I'll just, not knowing any better, just tie him up.
Yeah.
And come inside.
And I mean, you might not. I mean, just because like maybe you don't care if someone gets a free horse, So the door opens, and the door immediately. There's just like a short hallway, and you see a long staircase going up to the second floor, and then you can presume up to the others. On either side of the doorway, there's 2 open doorways. One to the left has a table, a very long table with like 12 chairs at it, that are currently only 2 being used. One sits a half-elf woman, seems to be in her early 30s, with long brown hair that's kind of like tightly put up into a very neat bun. And then you see another older elven woman, except you would know her to be a wood elf. Her ears are not as long and pointy. They're a little bit shorter. She has like a deep auburn hair that kind of flows down into a long braid, or flows down, and then there's like a long braid in the middle that kind of goes down as well. And the 2 of them are currently like leaning over these books. And before you can even kind of like react or look, the 2 of them kind of like look over at you, and then you just see like 2 flashes of movement, and you are immediately like surrounded by 2 individuals that have a blunt kitchen knife and in front of you, and then a fork. The one behind you, you see these 2 halflings that look exactly alike. They have short black hair. The only difference that you can tell is that one has like green eyes and one has like bright blue eyes. And the one that has bright blue eyes is kind of like standing up in front of you with the like blunt butter knife. Hey, who are you? Yeah, who are you? Says the one behind you with the fork.
Whoa. All right.
Brewster immediately just like splits them apart from you. Warren, stop it! This is Orem and hold on, I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, this is Oren and Warren. They're also our brothers. Hey, come on, you 2. Be nice to the guest, all right? The 2 of them kind of look at you, and both at the same time synchronize, go, "Sup, yo?" And just like keep like pointing their like butter knife and fork at Chad.
Chad keeps his hands up but is like kind of smiling. I'm just like, this is cute.
Guys, can you just like give us some space? Keep an eye on the horse, maybe.
Oh, you got a horse? Oh, they got a horse! And then Oren and Warren start run out the door, and you just hear like as the door swings shut, you hear Oren go, "Horsey!" And the older-looking elven woman kind of stands up. And she says, it's so good to see you, my boy. And she comes over and she leans down, does not pick you up, does not hug you based off her standards. She comes down to your size and gives you a nice little warm embrace, and then sits back up. Fan, or you who you know to be Fan, your older sister, who does not live at the house anymore, but seemingly came over early this morning, just kind of like pretty half-heartedly like looks over her shoulder and she's like, "Hey, bud," and she like continues to like scribe on what she's doing.
Hey, Fan, and I just like hug like Gomer even harder and just like, I had another a dream vision that something happened, and I had to get back home.
Is mom not here?
She's on her way. She should be back probably if all goes well tonight.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, buddy, I'm so glad. Well, first of all, I'm glad you made it safe. I'm very proud of you for making it all the way here. That's awesome, bud. I know that you've been kind of wanting to travel without us, so, good job. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. Chad was a big help.
Hi, I'm Gilmarie Pentwee, and she reaches out her hand.
Sorry,
it feels very bureaucratic, the like introduction and the handshake. Not in a fake way, but clearly you can tell immediately that this person rubs elbows, and like on the daily, and okay, come on, rubs elbows?
No, it was the hand motion.
Oh, it was because you could only see the.
Because I could only see the hand.
I understand now. I understand now. So you immediately recognize that this is a person that talks to people all day and is constantly introducing herself. But she says, "Yeah, hi, I'm Gilmarie Pentwee. Thank you so much for keeping my child safe. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
Well, Brewster, she kind of like looks over at Brewster, and he's like, "All right, don't worry, I'll whip something up." And he kind of goes over to the kitchen, takes off his tool belt of gardening tools, replaces it with an apron. "Don't worry, Mom, I got it." And he goes over to the kitchen and just starts immediately cooking. And as you start to kind of settle in and talk with one another, we'll go ahead and take a little bio break, and then we will come back shortly. So go ahead and stay tuned. We'll be right back. Get some watering in, get some hydration, get some stretching done, and then we will be here when you return. So yeah, we'll be right back. Oh, now you can hear me. Hello! Welcome back to Charmed Persons. I hope you stayed hydrated over the break, because that's important, guys. It's summer. Okay? So, do it. But right where we left off, Chad and you had just returned to the Pentwee home, and we were introduced to, honestly, probably, I'm not going to do the math real quick, but probably not even half of the full Pentwee family.
It's only 4.
Yeah, but you met Brewster, you met the twins, Oren and Warren, and then you met Fan and Gilmarie. I'll let you, Rosie, and you kind of decide this. What are the is it Mama and Mom? Is it what are Gilmarie and Rosie's designation to their kids?
I kind of think you've been doing good at
Mama G?
Yeah, I like Mama G or Mama Gil, and then Mama Rosie or Mom. So
okay, yeah.
Gilmarie is never Mom.
Yes.
She is
so
Mama
she's
or
Mama
Gil
or Mama G. Yeah.
Or
okay.
Mama G, but then Rosie is Mama Rosie or Mom.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Love that. So you met Mama G, and the love of Rosie's life, and Chad. You joked about it, but genuinely, you're what you're surprised about is that everything she said was true. When you hear the story of the Pentwee family, you're like, this sounds like something out of a book. But then, you're in front of all of them right now, and they're all exactly how she described them, even better, even more of a character. And Gilmarie, as Brewster kind of starts whipping something up in the kitchen, kind of brings Chad and you over to the table. Where Fan is, and Fan is already starting to pack up some of her things, and she stuffs some scrolls and a book that she was writing into her satchel, kind of throws it over her shoulder, and comes up and hugs Gilmarie, kisses her on the cheek. Love you, Mama, and bends down and kind of tousles Yu's hair. Good to see you, buddy. I'm sorry I can't stay. Really busy morning. I gotta go to the hall. And that Fan works at the council hall located in the inner tier. She's basically an administrator, but she is very proud of her connection to the council hall and the fact that she is able to access the inner tier every day. But yeah, she kind of looks at you and she's like, "Yeah, I gotta go to the hall. Busy day, bud. Sorry."
Yeah. Have a good day. Be safe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, see you guys. And she kind of just but as she's passing
nice
by,
to meet you.
yeah, Chad. As she's passing by, she kind of catches your eye, Chad, and you see her kind of get flustered for a moment, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Fan," and she comes over and she introduces herself to you.
I'm a fan.
Hello, I'll do my full name. Hello, my name is Chedjujim Strongdraw. Very, very nice to meet you.
Yes. Yeah, the pleasure's. I'll see you. I'm usually around, so I'm sure we'll see.
Great.
Have a great day. And she
Yeah,
kind of
you
walks
too.
out. And Gilmarie just kind of chuckles, and she sits you guys down at the end of the table, and she looks over at you, and says, "All right, bud. So can you kind of tell me a little bit more in detail what you dreamed about?"
Yeah. So this is what I remember, and for the sake of brevity.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do you tell her about the attack?
Lines.
I tell her about the attack. I kind of underplay what I did.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Do you tell her about the letter?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of takes all this in. Oh, this is not good. Okay, well, and it's taken a while to kind of explain all this, and before she starts talking, Brewster comes over, puts down a couple plates. There's like 2 loaves of like longer, like almost like French bread that he's just like broken in half and put on either side, and then there's just like thick strips of like a bacon type meat, and then some potatoes that have been just kind of simmered on a pan for a while, and kind of puts that in front of y'all. And he says, "Listen, this is what I eat. All right, I'm not good at cooking the other stuff." And he kind of
this looks great, and Chad just like starts like digging in.
Very good. Brewster definitely seems to know his way around the kitchen. Seems to be incredibly well seasoned. You kind of like put 2 and 2 together with the gardening. You know, green thumb, and as you continue to eat, Gilmarie starts to speak, and she says, "Okay, well, I feel like I should. Well, we should wait for Mom, and we should talk with Mom, and I'll take a look at the letter, and you don't have the letter, do you?"
No.
Yeah.
I think it would be with Rosie.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Well, I'm sure you're exhausted. If you want to show Chad any of the spare rooms, please rest. Make yourself at home. You can just feel free to stay here as long as you need, Chad. And
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know when your mom's here. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I am gonna go find a stable for that horse. I just don't want it to like just be in your front area. I feel like.
Oh, if there's a horse. Oh, is he alone?
The twins were out there for a second. I don't know if they still are.
Okay, good. Now,
But
as
yeah,
long
I'm
as-
just
okay.
gonna take him to a stable just to. I don't know how long we'll be here and stuff. So, get him some food and rest. Little tank needs a break. So.
Of course, yeah.
Gonna go do that, and then I'll be back.
Yeah, feel free. Yes, of course. And you see her kind of like a little bit flustered, like look to the rest of you one last time, and like, okay, is it alright? May I excuse myself? You knows the way around here. If you have any questions.
Sure.
Okay, and she kind of like definitely mind elsewhere, walks away and walks up the stairs, and leaves the 2 of you in the kitchen. Brewster kind of walks up, and he's like, "All right, well, I was in the middle of tending to the garden out back when you guys came here, so I'm gonna go keep doing that. If you need anything, I'll be up there."
Food was delicious.
Hey, all right, I
Like,
appreciate
so
it.
good.
Yeah,
So
thanks,
good.
Thank
Fred.
you. Of course, yeah. And good to have you home, buddy. As he like shuts the door, and the 2 of you are in the kitchen alone.
You do. I mean, I'll pop out to the horse, but do you want me to stay? I mean, I feel like you're good.
I mean,
You know.
I could go with you if you want.
Totally up to you. I don't want to like.
All right. Yeah.
Don't know how.
I think I do kind of need a moment.
Yeah. Totally. Don't need to say any more. Take what you need. I'll go take care of the horse and find an empty room. If you want to maybe actually show that to me before I just barge on someone else's room. Cool.
Before,
Yeah.
That chat goes, I take the time to.
Yeah. Before you leave, Chad, you're taken to this room that clearly looks like it was used and utilized. There's some belongings that belong to whoever stayed here before, nothing like super sentimental, not even enough to really kind of like let you know who stayed here. But it's an empty enough room. And you leave and go to find a stable for the horse, which is easily done. The caravan. As you all kind of approach the city, the rest of your travel goes on without obstacle. Is there anything specifically that you do? We'll go ahead and say that you've entered the city gates. You've gotten into the city proper. The guards around you, or the guards like completely accepted Cad in right away because they're very used to seeing the patchwork caravans. Cad kind of gets down off the caravans and helps everyone unload their luggage, and he looks to the rest of you and he says, all right, so as far as money goes, like I said, I need to visit my account. You can let me know where you're staying, where you're going, and I can drop by the sum this evening. That's all right with you, as well as maybe contact information for Frida. All right. Well, there's a couple places you can stay in the city. I know you live here, but for the rest of you,
well, they can stay with me. We'll see how many we can fit.
Where else is there? If there's other options, I would love to hear that. Not that I won't be staying with Rosie, but
wow. All right. Tell
just
him.
I just want to know about the city of Barrington.
Well, the Horned Toad is the inn here in the Southeast District. The district closest by.
I don't like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's totally fine. You don't have to go there. I totally get that. There's in the Northwest District. There's Doone's Paradise. It's not a paradise. However, it's not the worst thing in the world. The owner's a little eccentric. I tend to go to the Horned Toad myself. I find the Southeast District to be a little less untoward. So those are probably the he kind of like looks at all of you, and then looks over at the Hornswines, and then he's like, you guys might want to make your way to the inner tier. There's a few inns in there that you can definitely find to your liking for sure. And
that's supposed to mean Cad.
I just didn't take you for he kind of like
the guy can afford nice things.
Well, he leans in and he says, I didn't really take you for the uppity type, it's kind of like a lot of people with high noses over there, you know what I mean?
I like to be around,
Oh, okay. Well, right. Well, in the inner tier, we've got the Golden Leaf. That's definitely a place that you can stay. That's over near the Quartz Market. Then we've got, we've got, what's the other place called? The Lion's Den. That's kind of meant for more of, a lot of the stars and the fighters that go to the Barrington Arena, they're usually kind of taking up that place.
I'm going to have to say no to the Lion's Den.
Right. Yeah, Flint is so agreeable.
There's no lions there, Flint. You know that, right?
But it's going to make me think about it, and I just don't like it.
Fair enough.
Actually, I do want to say they do have a lion there. It's one of the star parts of the attraction. He's old at this point, honestly. He's a big cuddle guy.
Oh.
Cool.
Would you like it if you
can
could cuddle
go there? Hey, Cuinn, can we go there?
Not be cuddling with a lion.
All right. Well, just tell me where you're going to be staying, or maybe if you're not staying at Rosie's place, but you'll be. I don't know. Maybe you'll be there for the evening. Maybe I can go. I don't really want to go to the inner tier.
We'll be at the Lion's Den.
Don't make me go to the inner tier, please.
Well, but I want to go to Rosie's.
You can send everything to Rosie's.
Okay, good.
Yeah, might as well.
Maybe we can see if Rosie, do you want to come out with us tonight?
Rosie, yes.
Oh, I haven't been asked to go out with anyone for a long time. I'll think about it.
Come out with us.
I do want to check on Gilmarie. I'm fine. I'm
Bring
not worried or
Gilmarie.
anything,
Bring Gilmarie.
Yeah.
We'll see how she's feeling. She might be maimed. I don't think she's maimed. For what it's worth.
Okay.
As you are all talking, Chad, you're leaving the stable after stabling up Tank Jr. and the stable is actually pretty close to the western gate. So as you're walking away and starting to make your way back to the Southeast District, because the eating and the story time took a lot of the and meeting everybody took a lot of the afternoon, and then making your way all the way back here, you kind of meet them here, and you see by the caravan the rest of the people who you left kind of chatting.
As I'm still like a good 20 feet away, I just like raise my hand and be like, hey, May, Cuinn, Rosie, and as I just like name all of their names as I get closer and closer. Flint, Chad, hey,
It's me, Chad, from the caravan.
remember?
Chad.
Yeah, I think we heard you after the first one there, bud. Good to see you. Glad you're here.
Oh, Chad, Dreamy, hello. Oh my goodness, how was your
Good
journey?
miss if it tried, champ.
It was good, fairly uneventful.
Okay, you run into. Is you all right? Did you?
Oh yeah. He's at home.
Okay.
We had met most of, I guess, who was there of your family. So it was
Oh my
super awesome
goodness.
meeting. I met
What a
Krister, I met
joy.
Fan, I met Orphan and Warren,
my
and
goodness.
Mama G, or I don't know if I'm allowed to call her that, but
She probably love it.
okay. But yeah, and you was just taking a moment. I was just putting the horse at the stable. But
Okay, well, let's go. Let's go there. And I just.
Chad, how long did you tell the stable master that you were going to stable the horse for?
I just did it for a day.
Okay.
And then I'll go back and update it if needed.
So for just a day, it's just 2 silver.
Cool.
And then if you don't know, it's 10 copper pieces is 1 silver, 10 silver is 1 gold, 10 gold is 1 platinum. And then the EP, I forget what it even stands for. That just doesn't exist.
Electrum.
Yeah, fuck it.
Nobody uses it.
I know. I hate it.
2 electrums is like 1 copper or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not worth it. So,
Sorry, Gary.
Does anybody not travel with Rosie? Oh, what a good party. Thank you.
Unless that legally makes us like adopted kids.
As far as you
come
know,
with
the legal
me,
process
you'll
is
have a
probably as far as you know, the legal process is probably more involved, but hey, you've never been to Barrington.
She has a notary that travels with her all the time.
Here.
As you
I'm
guys
like,
walk
Gil
away,
Marie, I want this one. And she's like, all right.
as you walk, you've we'll just say that you told Cad where the Pentwee home was to be found. And he's like, all right, well, yeah, don't worry. I'm going to bring your money there this evening. So that'll be there.
Thank you.
Yeah. he's like, for over a day has had a really like planted smile on his face and it's like starting to like fade a little bit.
Whatever you could get, as much.
Anyway, as you travel the rest of the city, it takes you a good, honestly, probably 20 minutes, if not more, to travel throughout the city, just a larger city. But you eventually make your way to the Southeast District, and then the street that the Pentwee home is on. And when you arrive, you all see the building that I described earlier when Chad and you arrived, except this time on the porch, currently sparring with their butter knife and fork are 2 halfling twins, Orin and Warren, who don't really see you approaching right now. They're just kind of like going at each other.
And as I approach, I say, is that my good cutlery?
They both immediately, like synchronized swimmers, turn and look at you with the silverware behind their back, and both at the same time go, "Hi, Mom!"
I'm gone for a few weeks.
They
Probably more, and you already destroying my home?
They both just kind of like laugh and then run down and just immediately group hug you. And Cuinn and Maewyn, as halflings yourselves and as twins, you can tell that these 2 are like a couple years younger than you. Probably like just now, maybe. Wait, you guys just turned 20?
22.
22, yeah. So yeah, they're just now like just probably 20, maybe still 19. But they both kind of like look over the rest of you all, and they're like, and they both kind of like whisper into your ear, but like back and forth, like, who is that? Who are you with? Like, who are these people?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So here, we'll go down the line. This is Cuinn, and this is Maewyn. Don't worry, I didn't adopt them yet. And this
You
is
see them
Flint.
genuinely relieved by that.
Yet, I said. This is Flint. And if you notice, do you see the scarf under his beard? That's one of mine.
Oh, it looks good, Mom. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I made it just for him. And then
nice gloves,
I think We have Edmund over. Is he with us? Edmund?
Oh yeah, right. That's me.
Edmund
nice to meet
is
you.
here. Hello, Edmund. He's also Lucas, but so if that happens, don't be alarmed.
Huh?
Tell everybody else.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you'll see. Okay.
The door opens, and you hear Gilmarie's voice, Rosie. Listen, I know that these introductions can probably take about, the rest of the night, so how about we bring it inside, everybody?
Oh my goodness. Always rushing me. Always rushing me.
I like Gilmarie.
She walks down and yet again bends down to hug you and gives you a big squeeze. And she kind of kisses you gently and then leans back and puts her hands on your face. And she says, sounds like you had quite the journey, huh?
That's not even the half of it.
All right, well, I'm ready to hear the rest. You is waiting, and so is Brewster. Brewster's here. Obviously.
Oh, good. Oh,
Fan,
good.
And then as she's like gesturing you, and she's like, Fan was here this morning, by the way, having a
how's
rough
she
time
doing?
at the hall. She just feels like she can't get her foot in the door, and like the two of you are just kind of like catching up as she opens the door. The rest of you walk in. You kind of see this huge house that I described earlier. Cuinn and Maewyn, as you guys pass Oren and Warren, their arms are just kind of crossed, and they're just like looking at the two of you.
I'll equally cross my arms and stare at him while I'm walking by.
As you're walking
Wave
by,
and then,
as you're walking by, one of the twins, you don't know which one's which, says, "I like your beard." And the other says, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. We can't do that."
With immense training and skill, you might be able to acquire one day.
They both kind of like let out a smirk, and then the two of you enter, and everyone is at the Pintwe home. And as you all enter, you smell more food being cooked up, and you walk in and see this large half-orc man kind of like leaning over a pot and currently stirring, and he looks back, "Oh, Mom, it's so good to see you!" And he kind
my Brewster!
he runs over and the opposite of Gilmarie picks you up and lifts you around. Almost hits your head on the ceiling, but instinctively puts his hand there and like doesn't stop you from lifting up. It just like lifts you up still. And then
His hand is hitting my head.
yeah, he just like cups your head and like and he's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you, Mom. You had me a little freaked out, So hey, you! Mom's home!" And you see, as you gets to the top of the last staircase, you see this little contraption that you has built. Hasn't had enough time to get it all the way up to the rest of the remaining staircase, but there's just like this little metal seat that you like jumps in and slides down the rest of the railing of the staircase, as that's a project that they've been working on to help anyone who might be struggling to get up the stairs. Awesome. And as you land on the foyer and kind of embrace your mom after not seeing her for a day and a half, the party is reunited.
Oh my goodness, tell me everything. How was your trip? How was your first little solo trip?
I mean, I wasn't alone. I mean, Chad
without
was
me,
there.
solo.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's not alone. I'm not the only one in the world. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. It was great. Yeah, no, it was totally fine. Nothing terrible happened at all. And,
good.
We made it back home safe. So.
Wow, what a
That time I'm just like
time.
looking at him
Insight
like,
check.
"Are you gonna say it? Are you gonna say it?"
I would definitely love to insight check that.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Even though I, as a player, know.
Give me a deception roll, you.
Why do you
That's
think
a
I'm lying?
natural
Lying.
20.
Because she's a mom.
Because you said everything was fine and nothing was bad, instead of doing very detailed descriptions of all of the plants that you saw and all of the trees that you.
Very good point. I mean, you're gonna have to get a natural 20, I think, to even compete. But...
I did get a natural 20.
No, I know. I'm talking to.
Oh,
them.
yeah.
No way!
Get out of
You're
here.
getting
That's
so grown up.
insane. Okay, but see, now here's the question: what's your plus to insight and what's your plus to deception?
What's my plus to insight?
Yeah.
So it'd be a
Rosie's
total of
hella
25.
insight.
25. What's your
24.
Oh! Okay, so this is what I'll say with 2 nat 20s. Both of you immediately just like tilt your head and narrow your eyes and look at each other, and there's like and there's like a stare off that happens, and you're both just like really, and you are the mother of this child. You have raised them, you know them, you're looking at them, and you're like, you are holding something back from me. And you seems very convincing, and you really think that you are, you know, you've gotten out of this unscathed. And I will say with 2 competing nat 20s, you know that something happened, but you're pretty convinced that it was nothing that you couldn't handle.
Okay. As long as you're all right, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy. And now I think you're growing up to be such a good little adult. And then I look at Chad and I say,
yes, love that. So Gilmarie kind of like gestures everybody to the table, and you immediately notice that she's flustered and a little bit rattled, and she kind of looks to you and she says, "Can I see the letter they told me what had happened? Love to see."
Oh, the letter, yes. And I'll like plop my bag of holding on the table, and I'll reach down and like, I did put it in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. And
She takes it and she unravels it, reads the whole thing carefully.
they got me confused for you, which is just so funny.
Yeah.
We don't look alike, see?
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Thank you, Flint.
Yep, no problem.
You don't
Beautiful
know.
help, by the way.
She kind of like turns the letter around and like points to the symbol. You know what this symbol is?
Well, I don't, but guess who does? Your son, your child over here. They said that little Jeffrey told him.
I never liked Jeff.
What...
I told you.
I never liked
when we were. I said
I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, they said that Jeff that told them. They didn't have anything to do with it, but I guess it's good that maybe they run around with a couple hooligans, just
Maybe
so we have insight into the hooliganery.
Gilmarie kind of like narrows her eyes, looking at you, and then she says, "Well, this is the symbol of the hanged man."
How do you know that?
Honey, I got my fingers in all kinds of baskets. Okay.
Oh God.
No. I know. I mean, I'm involved.
You're not a part of it, are you?
No, of course not. But I'm aware of them. You know, they're constantly.
Is Mom a part of it?
And she kind of like takes the time to explain. She's like, "Listen, honey, no, I don't like to talk about it, and I know that you like to. Hey, Warren." She can hear the sparring in the background, and she kind of looks at you and she says,
They're doing it with
well, they are getting better. She looks at you and she says, "Listen, I know you don't really like to acknowledge it, but Barrington is not what it was when we first moved here. I know that you know that. And well, there are groups of individuals who have more control in this city than, they probably should. And those are the type of people that I am trying to make sure, come into the light and are exposed and are stopped. And, in the Southeast District, what I've heard, and I have talked to these people. There's 2 groups, the free miners and the hanged men. And they both kind of compete over the territory of the Southeast District. They have Lucian guards on their payroll for sure. And you can tell without even rolling, Rosie, that in this moment, she's choosing not to say a piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "So that's all I know. That's That's what I can tell you. And if they were looking for me, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my fingers in baskets I shouldn't.
They're called the free miners. Is that like, what kind of miners are we talking?
Well, the Forshee mines, after they closed, a lot of the miners started rebelling and rioting and striking, and eventually that just kind of diluted itself into a street gang running rampant in the Southeast District.
Not like
Well,
Kipp,
that's-
then.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, I was a miner in my past life, so I could see how being down the mines for a while would cause you to go a little bit street gang crazy.
Sure.
Not that
Gang
I've done-
crazy.
I've never done that.
Is there like open fighting between the two, or is it more, subterfuge?
Sometimes. I mean, I would say most of it probably happens behind closed doors, but the Lucian Guard has really relaxed the amount of control they have over the city, and most of the efforts are focused on the inner tier, and so the rest of us are kind of... I mean, most of the businesses around here, from the shop owners that I've spoken to, have either at one time or currently are under the protection, forced protection, either one of these guys.
Even
Good.
what's that one kid I have that has a shop? Oh my god. Even Bartund, his shop, is he part of it, or is he?
Maybe that's something you and I should...
Oh my
Well,
god. Oh.
That's a yes.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness. This is, oh my god. So I have some here. This is Cuinn.
Oh, yes.
And this is
Hi.
Maewyn. Aren't they adorable? Look at them.
Yes.
And then you met Chad.
We're
and
adults.
Then, yeah. They
They're
say.
adorable though.
Yeah. And then this is Flint.
Hmm.
And this is
Just know.
Edmund. They were on the caravan with me, and so we've all kind of, gotten. And I know that you said that you know about what went down on the caravan. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's cool. But everybody here was
For
a
us,
part of it, and
Well,
so maybe they could, be here and
kind of
help
like,
us. And...
shit, like you see a flash of like widened eyes.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No. They're just to stay. No,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, of course. I cannot thank all of you enough for protecting my love and my youngest, and so thank you so much. And please feel free to stay here. Brewster's a great cook. You're welcome here anytime.
Wow, thank you. Do you mind if I can catch a quick shut-eye?
Of course, yeah. If you
Likes to sleep. I think he has a problem.
okay, well, yeah, well, we can take him to Pelwin's room if that's
Yeah, that's the best one
Okay, all right. Well,
for him.
Nice
him.
Well,
Hey,
Flint,
you don't
if
want to stay and talk about it and stuff. And we just figured out I just gonna go to bed.
Yeah, I know, Flint. I'd kind of like you to be maybe a part of the conversation.
I get cranky when I don't sleep for a while.
Well, I have a little chair down here you could sit in, so you don't have to
Do-
stand while we're.
Do you want some coffee or some tea or something?
I have all of those.
I can
Should I
take
make
that.
some?
Or something?
I'll make some.
I feel like if I drink like caffeine, it's artificial, keep me awake, and then I get more cranky.
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll stay.
I mean, it's up to you, Flint. We don't want to make you do something that you don't want to do.
I'm just tired, but I'll push through it because I think this is a big revelation that we with these gangs, and that seems scary, and they're coming after you, and I don't want you to be in danger.
Really
All
just
right, well,
just
this feels like a
huge
conversation.
asshole when you're tired. Just...
All right, well, this feels like a conversation I don't want to really be a part of. Sounds like scary stuff, and I get scared pretty easily. So, the food's done. It's just kind of it's a stew. Help yourself. There's bowls next to the pot. I'm pretty tired. Got up early today, so I think I am gonna go take a nap. All right, nice to meet you all. I'm Brewster.
Chad's been up all night, so Chad, you
Oh
should
my
get some
goodness,
sleep.
Chad, do
No,
you want
no.
some
You know what?
coffee?
I
Have
want some of
tea?
that stew. That's what
Oh,
I want.
yeah,
So
it's
I'm
the
gonna start.
Brutus
Can I bring
stew.
anyone back a bowl? I'll just bring out as many bowls as I can carry. I'll just like have bowls up my arms.
I think
Yeah.
this is kind of leading towards everyone taking a nap. It seems like.
Well, we can have a little
I-
brew stew and then we'll take a
It's like
nap.
10 a.m.
I like that.
No, it's like 1. It's like 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
All right, so you all kind of like gather around the table, and Gilmarie kind of looks over at you, and then looks at Rosie, and Rosie gives you a look that's like, you know, you've known each other for so long at this point. She doesn't have to actually say the words, but she's like, should you be here for this conversation? You know, because she has not seen you and, you know, in their recent growths, and is probably in this moment still viewing you as like a child who maybe shouldn't be a part of such adult conversations. And
Yeah.
you're getting that kind of vibe from the look. She's like, should they be here?
I'll look at her and then I'll look at you and I'll say, could you start Mama G a little hot water in the kettle? Just run in and start some hot water on the kettle.
I'd
Yeah.
really appreciate it, hon. Please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
As you stands up and walks away. I don't really know how much time that's gonna buy.
Well, I just don't know what. I just want you to know that they're a little bit better off than they were when we left. Just want you
Have
to
any
know.
more night?
You know, I don't.
It really scares them. And I'm not looking.
Is this in front of everybody?
Yeah, but
Are we at the-
she's speaking Gnomish to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just hear us like whispering in Gnomish, like, oh my god, what's going on?
Can I insight check like that they sent you away to kind of keep them out of the conversation?
I don't think you need to roll an insight check for that. You have a little sister, and I think you're used to parents having a child do something so that they can have a moment, and that's definitely what's going on right now.
Gwen and I are probably pretty excited to not be the ones who are
I know.
dismissed.
This is the first time.
I'm at the adults table.
Then I'll pop up and be like, oh, you know what? Tea sounds good. Hey, you, what kind of tea do you have? And I'll just like go in there and start asking him like so many questions about like each tea, what it does. Is it a sleepy time tea? Does it have how much of a sleepy time? Is it like a chill tea? And all of that.
Do you think that you entertain that conversation, or do you feel that they are kind of catching on to what's going on?
I'm very into whatever. I mean, the chat at this point in time has been so helpful, and I'm just enamored. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so for the time being, you feel that enough time has been bought that you all can openly talk about this. And Gilmarie kind of starts off the conversation, and she says, well, if they knew my name, then this isn't... They knew my name and what you looked like and did and what caravan you were on, then this isn't over.
You guys have had somebody watching you guys, I feel, for a while.
Wow, that feels awful.
Feels very violating.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people know you because of just your position in the city, but you haven't done anything. I don't think, have you, that would put a target on your back?
She kind of like looks over where you're standing and then looks back.
Oh my goodness.
I may have my hands where put my hands where maybe they shouldn't have been. So, you know, there's a local nobleman who I have been working with to try and rise their ranks all, and been working with Dan as well. Her name is Sylvia. She's amazing. She's great. She has Sylvia Heartstring has such empathy and such a connection with the locals, and you know, she's really been making a name for her. And I've been working with her to try to get her involved, but we keep running into trouble. keep running into this, I don't know, go to an event and there's, you know, a riot that takes place seemingly coincidentally right when it's not about. Or, you know, there was an attempt on her wagon when life on her, you know, an attack on her wagon as she was making her way through the streets of the inner team. And there's just been few violent things happened, and so I went digging, try to find who possibly doing this because the Lucian Guard is doing nothing about it. So I feel it's, you know, it's my duty to help Sylvia and help her rise through these ranks. You know, Barrington is the person that this city needs. And so, like I said, I did a little bit of digging, and I might have found my way into Barrington Prison.
Oh, Gilmore.
Well, someone had to talk to one of the people who were captured, and when I made my way down there to interrogate the guy who was thought to assassinate her, he was just sitting at a table playing cards with one of the guards, just chatting up a storm, and everything was fine, and he wasn't behind bars. They seemed to be friends, and, well, the only thing that I really heard is they kept mentioning this person. It's Hawk. And
That's the name.
there was one other name that they heard. It's another animal name.
I'm out.
Can't think of I can't think of what the name was. It was a short name.
Like a rat, a mouse,
No, but
Cat.
Rat's close.
cat,
Ram.
ram. Oh, close in letters.
Yeah,
I see.
the hawk,
Okay.
the hawk and the ram. Those were the two names that I heard, and I was trying to hear who they were talking about. But as I leaned forward, they heard me kind of like scuffle up against the wall. A loose stone fell. They turned. I immediately started running. I lost him before I. Babe, you have to know. I did everything that I could to make sure that they did not follow me. They didn't know who I was, but they must have had a tail on me that I.
That must have been so scary.
It's horrifying, and I have not done anything about it since, and I was just been keeping my head down and kind of been hoping that it would go away. Thought it had.
Well,
Apparently not.
well, it seems like maybe we might have to just lay low for a little bit. We have my friends here. Very talented. May uses a bow like I've never seen anyone use a bow.
Oh,
And then
great.
Cuinn, he plays some sort of like a, what did you call it? A saxophone?
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
Oh, okay.
Plays a saxophone. Saxophone, thank you.
Okay.
A saxophone.
Okay.
And he's pretty good at it most of the time.
How is
Yeah.
that comparable to a bow and arrow?
Well, it does
Just watch.
not like bad
Just-
boy magic, but it does like happy things.
Oh,
Makes you
some
happy.
people
You
would
know how
call it
like you know how, like,
arcanic magic.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Bad boy magic.
No, that's not bad. Is it bad boy? Are you a bad boy?
That
I
could
mean,
be a bad
Oh my
one.
That's
God.
what you, honey. That is what you call bad boy. But no, as I've said many times, it's not the man. That's a debate for.
Okay.
And that is something that the
I'll
two
try
of
to-
you
yes.
have like constantly
Yes.
butt heads about. Like Gilmarie is definitely a follower of Dune and definitely believes in Dune, but is much more like separated from it. Or she loves your relationship with Dune and she loves what that does and what that brings out of you. But she is definitely a little bit more grounded in her.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. And
Well,
Go
if
ahead.
if the people are coming after you, I think we should be proactive. I think I mean,
Yeah.
if it's there, seems like the hawk and the ram are tied to the hanged men. Perhaps we could investigate that. Of course, we have the lead with the honeys. Maybe that's involved with these gangs some way. I've got an
Flowing flagon.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk to the miners. They would welcome me with open arms.
That's true. They would. You were once one of them.
Yeah, I don't want to discourage like the free brush mine, but I did the mining at the big boy place at the Gora Hole, so it's kind of like
The big boy.
big boy.
Big boy.
Not to be like a downer, but this type of stuff usually doesn't just like blow over, you know.
Yeah. Oh.
Listen, I'm afraid I have to agree here with our friends. And Gilmarie kind of like reaches out and puts a hand on your hand, Rosie, and kind of gives you. Says, "I'm not one to ask for help, but an attempt was made on the life, the love of my life, and my youngest child. So I am willing to do anything. If those of you who are here are willing to help us, I mean, we don't have much, but definitely pay for your services. Definitely, and you're free to stay here whenever you want. I mean, I can't express the amount of thanks that we have. Did this.
Please, any donation is more than welcome, and nothing is requested.
Right.
Greatly encouraged.
We would love to help.
And she
Can
kind of like, go ahead.
Can I make a history or intelligence check on the name of the Sylvia? What's her last name?
Sylvia Heartstring. Yes, you can.
What should I do? History?
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to make you roll. This is a noble from an up and coming noble from Barrington. I don't think you ever would have.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just seeing if you've heard of her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you probably never would have heard of her being from Bayhoff.
What about the hawk or the ram? Any mention of those from?
Go ahead and
like
roll.
a family or anything?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history. Yeah, history.
10.
And you as well, Maewyn, because you were wanting to about it.
Oh, that's a nat one.
You're a halfling. You can reroll.
You can reroll that once.
Oh yeah, woo!
I love that.
Actually, very smart halflings, isn't that the point?
Yes.
17.
17.
Yes.
With a 10, nothing really comes to mind. With a 17, you have no idea if there was a connection. You highly doubt that there is a connection, but you do know of two people who have animal names.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
They both said yeah, and that makes me nervous.
So, I mean, that does come to your brain. Whether or not there's any connection there is yet to be found, but you know,
I imagine when she was like, it's an animal name, Cuinn and I were just like,
yeah.
LOL.
That's all.
So this flowing flagon, is this like a hangout where we might run into hanged man and free miners, or is it mostly owned by one of them?
Yeah, well, what I know of, and she kind of looks over at Rosie, and she just knows that Rosie hates this conversation, and also hates the fact that Gilmarie knows so much about it. And also, make an insight check, Rosie.
Gilmarie's evil. I know it.
This is not
Gilmarie's
Gilmarie.
the hawk.
23.
Ooh, with a 23, you are sensing an extreme amount of guilt coming from Gilmarie. For multiple reasons.
I call it Guilt Marie.
Jesus Christ. For multiple reasons. One, she feels incredibly guilty of the fact that any of her actions might have led to violence of her family.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you two are very open and honest with one another. You have an extremely, I mean, you have been together for literally hundreds of years. Over,
like
100 and
like 150 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have been together
Just a few.
for it to last that long. You know, communication and open honesty is like so important. And so there's a lot of guilt coming from her because this is knowledge and information that you didn't know that she had. And you kind of, I mean, you knew that she was involved in local politics, but you kind of thought it was like volunteer work, like glorified volunteer work. Whereas it seems that she's like into the web of the corruption of this city more than she ever let on. And even she, as much as it is like still clearly just a dipped. But feels bad that this is not information that was shared. And as she continues to talk, she says, well, the flowing flagon, I actually, I happen to know that is, due to the owner, is considered neutral territory. It's a very strict rule there that no violence between the gangs happens. It's really the only place that either of them can go to seek, you know, I would assume to be like unjudged revelry. And so even gang members drunk, I suppose. But
be
yes,
a good place for
that
information,
would, that would, but in regards to that, it would definitely be a place for you to find the hanged man.
Be a good place to start.
Well, oh. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. I know we need to do what we need to do, but you know Quinn's right. It might not blow over, but what if it does?
Well, hun, you know what? If you want to stay here, and and I can go out with them, and I can be a part of. I'm the one that they're after, so maybe I should be the one that.
Are you, or is it me? I still am confused by the letter. They were trying to get to me to get to you, or they want to kill me because
I wanted you alive.
How do bad guys get their motives? What do we?
From what I can see from this letter, it looks like they found out who you were, or someone found out who you were. But then thought it was my name.
They thought you were traveling, and they thought they were just going to do it in one fell swoop, but then they went for me because then I was there. Okay.
They're coming after Gil. No.
See, I can't even.
But yes, I do think that they're after me.
Well, okay, but then maybe this is hear me out. Maybe then I'll do it for you. And I'll do it for our little child. I don't want to put you in any more
danger than I already
But
have.
you shouldn't be out there. You shouldn't be putting yourself on the front lines if you're the one they're after. You stay in one place, we can protect you. But you throw yourself out there and you're just an open target.
Because of what I've already done and because of what has already occurred, I promise you that until this is solved, right here.
Thank you. Finally, she listens to me.
She kind of laughs and gives you a kiss on the cheek.
Well, we don't have to do this all tonight. We can still eat and enjoy ourselves, right? Or do we want?
Oh yeah,
and
maybe gotta jump on it.
I would love to. Oh, okay.
We may eat here, but maybe.
Well, I mean, it's early afternoon. Perhaps we can eat, maybe even get a nap in for Flint, and then perhaps this evening, when the ne'er-do-wells of the night are out and about, that's when we can make our way to the flowing flagon.
Perfect plan.
Maybe come up with like a plan of what we're gonna do when we get there. Talk about it. Figure that out.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Wow, this is feeling like a real heist.
I do think that you needs to be involved with this. He's shown themselves, worthy of,
Yeah, Edmund.
They can handle themselves.
Edmund doesn't let on to what happened, but definitely very clearly is let's just say that the little one can take care of themselves. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They have grown.
Gilmarie kind of looks at you, Rosie, and in a moment of I suppose we both have things. And kind of okay, well then I deserve this and I won't incur further kind of a thing. You know what I mean? It's all right, I get it. I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it too, so I'm not going to continue to ask about it. She trusts you, you know. So she says, honey, the tea? And she kind of like yells over to you.
Yeah, man, I can't believe I have to say it again, but yeah, here's the list, Chad.
I'm stuck on the champ. It's chamomile, not I mean, it's
Chameleon.
You look over, Chad, and you see that Gilmarie is like thankful, but it's like it's pretty good.
okay. I'll trust you. I mean, I'll just take the I'll take this tea.
As the two of you kind of rejoin, and as you put tea in front of your mama, and she has none of it, they kind of inform you as to some of the conversation that they have, and inform you as to the general plan of the evening. And Gilmarie kind of looks at you and says, "So, you feel like you'd be okay with that? Do you feel like that's something that you want to do?"
Yeah, I mean, I have to be a part of this.
Oh, you really are grown up, aren't you?
I just burst into tears.
Oh, hon, it's okay. Hey.
Still got 500 years left. I can't have another empty nest.
Gilmarie kind of like stands and walks over and like leans down next to you and gives them a hug and says, "All right, well, I just need you to stand." And she looks at you.
Yeah, scoots like the chair out and like,
I need you to put your right hand over your heart.
I love it when she does this.
Now repeat after me. I, you Pentwee, promise to protect Mom.
Promise to protect Mom.
And bring her home safe.
And bring her home safe.
And make sure that I'm safe too.
And make sure that I'm safe too.
Amen. Oh.
Gonna look at May and be like, I thought our family dynamic was weird.
I like
and she kind of like salutes you. All right, soldier. I think you're ready.
Soldier.
I'm just like looking at it like, oh, it's so cute.
I'm clutching Quinn's arm, just like it's so beautiful.
All right. The rest of the evening is yours. I'm assuming you fill up on stew and probably get in a nap for Flint.
I fall asleep in like a rocking chair with a half a bowl of soup and
about an hour before you guys plan to go out, you decide to meet downstairs to kind of discuss, like the sun has come down, discuss like the plans of the evening. Is there anything that anyone wants to do before you gather to discuss the plans for the or anything that you
Are there any pets in the Pentwee house?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just I don't nap. I just like go on a tour to find all the pets.
Yeah, that's something that probably we can discuss later as far as what the animals are, but there's quite a few.
There is one cat at least.
Yeah, I'm sure a few cats, a few dogs. I bet there's like maybe some bird cages a little bit spurring throughout the house. Not a fan.
In the room that Flint is staying in, it's Pelwyn did have a bird, so there is like a bird cage, but there's no bird in it.
Mm-hmm.
I close the door of the cage just in case it's
in case it's invisible.
I don't nap because I'm already awake. Why not? And I definitely find Oren and Warren and just like casually take like a spoon from the kitchen and just like my stew spoon and I like just spar with them a little bit and play with them.
Yeah, they're surprisingly spry and dexterous, and they are good at moving and agile, but definitely aren't trained fighters. But they have fun messing with you. They're definitely enamored. You for sure show off a few times with some of your skills.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then eventually they just ask you to like look at your scimitars, and you guys are just looking at those, and you know, you do kind of like a bunch of like hand juggle tricks with the scimitars. And eventually the sun sets.
I did want to look at that note to just pay attention to the handwriting, so I might be able to copy it later with my
for sure, easy.
Charlotte's background.
Yeah, easy enough. That is definitely something. It is. There's actually two pieces of handwriting. There's one that is the main body of the letter, and then the one that's clearly probably Tank's. But so you can't, probably not enough to like copy that handwriting.
Yeah.
But definitely plenty of examples for the main letter. So you can you mute your thank you. You're fine. And so as you all gather downstairs, the sun has set an hour, maybe a couple hours ago at this point. It is summer, so the sun does set kind of late. So it's probably around like 9:30. And you all gather around the table, and Gilmarie kind of like meets with you at the bottom of the stairs, Rosie, aside from everybody else, and is like, well, if you don't mind, I think I trust you, your friends, to do you.
Yeah. I love you.
Love you, and sorry. So sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
I
This is a very interesting time to be alive. We would know.
Yeah.
And everything's gonna be okay.
Love you. Safe.
Always.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Nice to meet you.
I'm watching you go up the stairs.
A loud saxophone noise that wake up Flint from his nap.
Edmund comes down and joins you all at the table as well. Edmund had a little. All right, so scary dive bar. What's the plan?
We're gonna go in there, scout it out. I'm gonna get drunk. Talk to miners. Not miners.
I would hope so. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Would be a little creepy.
That's a joke in the miners.
I do
have a talk about that, Flint.
Not to brag, I do have an in with a local celebrity. I might be able to get some entertainment going there. I can maybe track that way.
Oh, who?
I don't like to brag and throw names out there, but I don't know if you've heard of Alexander Nightshade.
No.
None of you have heard of Alexander Nightshade.
I would say pretty big deal.
I would say,
I
mean, the only person
Quinn.
who has a chance is Chad. That's the only person who might have heard, but I would say probably. Yeah.
Pretty cool name.
When you say the name, I react a little bit too excited to like really sell it.
I
Believe that?
I'm like, oh wow, yeah, okay. All right.
I don't think I know that name.
Kind of an underground celebrity, you know. Cool kids like him.
Well,
Well, I'm sure I'll like him.
if this is the type of place for entertainment, then yeah, I mean that's definitely an in.
Well, I don't know, but that's just what I can bring to the table.
Right? Yeah.
Sure, drop the name, see what happens.
Well, here's the thing: is it out of the question for anyone, to maybe stay behind and watch over the house just in case, or should that be me? I don't know if I.
Oh, I'd be happy to do that if someone needs to stay behind. I can stay behind and watch the place. Yeah.
Is that okay? I don't foresee it. Are we planning on getting into some fist fights in this establishment?
Probably.
Oh my god. Okay.
You would know that if you wanted to, you know, none of your kids are like adventurers or fighters. But you know, you're a house in the slums. You know, Oren and Warren have definitely gotten into some street fights as kids. Brewster does not like violence, but is a very intimidating presence. And you know that Gilmarie can definitely take care of herself.
Okay.
So you feel like, you know, not leaving
Maybe.
anybody might be okay. And
Okay.
maybe having all the talents on the field is probably.
It also seems like there's been no direct attacks where people live. They seem to try to get them while they're
Exactly. You might not want to let on that you are on to something by like having a guard,
Okay,
Business as usual.
Makes sense.
That's
makes sense.
fair, yeah. Well, and I take it back. I'm feeling much more comfortable now that my conscience had a talk with me.
Sure. Okay.
Uh,
I mean, if you
sometimes
change
June
your
just
mind
has
again,
to.
I can head back
Magic.
early. So
Yeah,
just
okay.
let me
I'll
know.
let you know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do
All
this.
right.
Wow.
Wait, okay, so what's the plan here? I don't think we
I
really
don't
have.
We'll just go in there, bat it out.
All right, so Flint is going to try to talk to the free miners. I think that's not a bad idea. If we see any of the hanged men,
I could
I know that.
drown them.
I know I could as well.
Like to think I'm pretty personable. So
Yeah, you are.
Is there anyone here
thank
who's
you. Thank you for that.
May, or you even? Are either of you, stealthy, sneaky individuals?
Uh-huh.
I'm fairly stealthy also.
Perhaps, trying to eavesdrop on some conversations where people don't notice that ears are prying. That might
I
not
can
be a
get
bad
people
idea.
to talk.
I can definitely do some eavesdropping.
Right.
Solid plan.
Your entertainer might be able to cause a good distraction. But what would you do what would you be doing?
Me?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I have to manage the entertainment. It's kind of a full time.
Where'd you meet this entertainer?
Oh, it's on the road. Ran into him at a bar. It's like, hey, I can represent you. Type deal.
Wow.
I'll make sure that I keep Cuinn in the loop. I can
Oh
talk
my goodness.
to him telepathically.
Like in your
so-
head?
What?
Well, I love
Yeah.
twins.
You can do that?
Yeah,
It's
Is
like
that a
twin
twin
thing.
thing?
and
Yeah.
I'll do it in
Oren
Chad's
and
head.
I thought that was
Warren
like
could
a-
probably do it.
They
A
can.
myth.
They
Wow.
absolutely can.
That's pretty. I wish I had a twin. Man, what if I do?
You never know.
I couldn't imagine doing it. That'd be too.
Is
much.
there a distance thing? Like if I think really hard about someone that is my twin, and I
Try
try to
it.
talk to them.
Oh my god, I just felt something.
Oh no!
Chad, tell me about your parents. I'm sorry, no, this is not the time.
Yeah, maybe another
Later,
time.
later.
But yeah, we
Walk
could
and talk.
sure,
Talk and
yeah.
walk.
Okay.
All right. Well, what about you? What are you going to be doing, Rosie? What about you?
Oh god.
I mean,
Listen, from what I've heard about this place, I just don't think it's a very good idea for all of us to go in for a drink.
No, I don't think I would be. I don't think it looks like I would go in there at all.
Well, Cuinn and I could say that we're there to manage the entertainment, and then we could pretend that we're not with you guys.
Yeah.
Could I be a super fan of Alexander, whatever? Is it?
I think you fit right in. I think you fit right in.
Oh, okay. I'm a super fan of Alexander Nightshade, and this is my child, and I want them to get the full experience of a concert.
There you go.
We should
I think that's a
probably,
solid plan.
Cuinn, we should probably just real quick. I can communicate with Alexander and see if he's available.
Yeah, check in
tonight,
with him.
just to
Is
make
he a
sure,
twin too?
Just to make sure.
Are you guys triplets?
No, it's
She's
just
a halfling.
it's
Oh,
That's a
it's
half
part of
then?
it's part of our contract as his management company, and then I'm just gonna
that makes
concentrate.
absolute sense.
Magic is
And
crazy.
then go. Okay,
Really
yeah,
cool.
he said he's gonna be
Sweet.
there.
Awesome.
Wow.
Great. Good news.
Wow.
You guys are
Oh,
good
good.
managers. I mean,
Well,
you just
good,
like
I
showed
love
up to
him.
one spot and got a gig. Wow. If I
That's what we do.
ever,
I'm feeling good about this plan. I got my 20 hours of sleep. I'm ready to go.
So your plan is to get drunk?
Yeah, I'm gonna get drunk and schmooze.
Sounds great. Perfect.
I like it.
I
Drunk
look
and
like I would get
schmooze.
drunk.
So Flint's our distraction.
A distraction from the distraction.
Yeah, we have two
Yeah.
possible distractions. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna chat up, maybe talk about the fighting arena or something. I'm sure get people talking. So
We could
Yeah, I
maybe
can
talk.
get anyone to talk about it.
Maybe you can mention like how much you don't like Gil Marie.
Oh yeah, even though I know you love her.
Right.
well, of course. How
Yeah.
can I not
Lying.
love her? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll just make up some story of a run-in with her or something. What does she do
Yeah.
exactly? Like seems politics.
I still don't really know.
Oh,
This
okay.
is all very shocking to me. I thought she just kind of like went around and like volunteered at some some like shops and like some.
Maybe I can say
places,
I
but-
hate the person. Who was she helping?
Sylvia Hartstring.
There's Sylvia Hart. Sylvia.
That's a good idea.
Ah,
That way it's
mention
not like
Gil
super
Marie.
connected. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, that
That's smart.
politician
That's
lady.
Yeah. Who's
Screw
got
her
her?
and her
Who's got her
ideals.
so up and coming? You know, you could say.
Oh,
Who's that?
mhm,
Who is that?
mhm.
And see if they start talking about how they hate Gil Marie. Oh my God, is this sleuthing? I love it. Oh my God.
I'll know everything about the free miners within the hour.
Oh my
Perfect.
God. I
Great.
love you.
I think you do. All
Let's
right.
head that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Do I have to drink though?
I mean,
You
I
don't
didn't
have
drink.
to.
Maybe
Okay.
pretend.
Okay,
what
you
kind of-
no
what kind of music
drinking.
Is Alexander Nightshade like?
He happens to also play the saxophone.
Oh, we're
Oh,
He kind of taught me, you know, kind of.
Oh, so he was like your mentor.
exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Hey.
Wow.
Oh my
Seeing
gosh.
where it all began. All right.
do you
it's
think
all
you could
come
play
together.
a duet?
That'd be cool.
You know, he usually is a solo artist. I don't want to step on any
Oh.
toes.
That's
Fair,
fair.
that's
That's fair.
fair.
That's fair. Some
Okay.
people, I don't like to fight in like duos. I get it.
Plus,
Some
Quinn's
birds
usually
fly
like
alone.
Exactly.
Quinn's usually like backstage dealing with the like production side
He's
of it.
writer.
So
Mm.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Wow,
Totally
very
makes
noble.
sense. Very believable.
All right.
So
Should we put our
he'll be
hands
there
in?
soon. We should get there about the same time, really.
Hands
Okay.
in
What are we
Should we put our
doing?
hands in?
for
Or do you
What?
guys want me to teach you the sign of the dune?
What am I doing?
You and I are going to be super fans
Of Nightshade.
of
Nightshade.
Alexander Nightshade. Is that okay? Do you have a different idea? That you
Yeah,
wanna-
I hope
no,
there's
that's
no music in this
fine.
place.
Oh,
That'd be great.
okay.
Unless you have another idea, you're
No,
much
no.
part of this as anybody else.
You can come with me.
Oh.
Be a minor on the
That'd be-
rise.
Yeah, I mean,
minor.
Oh my
I've got a
God.
hammer.
What would the planetarium palladium, what would Palladium say about this?
Palladium Planopticon.
Palladium Planopticon.
You don't seem to know a whole lot about it for being a member.
I'm very new.
Oh, okay.
man. That was good.
Yeah, I don't know what they would say about this. I'd have to send a letter. But so I think I'll probably ditch my armor and just have like some more
No.
like street.
Absolutely do not ditch your
Streetwear
armor.
and-
Absolutely not.
No, if I've learned
No.
one thing about traveling, I'm going
Perhaps
to
you could
travel
just
like
Get
this.
more armor if you can.
Perhaps you can just put a cloak over your armor if you're trying to hide what it says.
Oh yes, I'll
That's
make
pretty
you.
smart.
I'll
That's
get
pretty
one of my
smart, Edmund.
cloaks. There you go.
But I don't think I knit one, Mom. I think this looks
Oh,
like
okay,
a blanket.
yeah.
If you happen to
photo.
have any cloaks that it was bought, maybe.
Gil-Marie, can I borrow your black cloak?
It's
should-
also gonna be
I'm
way
gonna
too
borrow
big.
her.
We should tell
black cloak.
someone here. Well, I don't actually know if Morton's. Did Morton say where he was going to meet us? That was
They'll meet us probably in a couple days, day or two,
Okay.
something like that.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's
Makes
pretty
sense.
They don't have to worry about them.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
I thought he was with the robbers actually, because I saw him stealing stuff.
He still might be. We kind of left pretty soon after that. So.
It's true.
He said that he was gonna catch. Like you actually, like now that you're all talking about it, like he should have met up with you. Like
Yeah,
as far as
I
you
mean-
know, he took all of the belongings from those people and didn't bury them and just left.
Well, not all. I
Seems
mean,
like
we
the type.
took some of the stuff,
True.
but
Yes.
I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do. I guess. Kind of a bummer, but
Seems easily distracted, so that makes sense to me.
yeah.
I don't
All
think
right,
this is
so-
the type of place for Morton anyways.
Do you all
No.
head to the flowing flagon?
Yeah, walking and talking.
Walking and talking. So, you start to head to a, if possible, even more slummy area of the Southeast District. Where's this story?
Flowing. Fucking.
Fucking. Of a flowing flagon.
You make your way to a pretty dark, untoward area of the Southeast District of Barrington. You've been walking for a few minutes now, and it has been a while since you've seen any members of the Lucian Guard. Because you're traveling in a large group, no one really approaches you or anything, but you definitely do see some people like walking by with like cloaks over their heads. You also see some drunkards just kind of like walking about, but everyone seems to like have some kind of like agenda, something they're like doing. It's a sketchy area. But you eventually find your way to this well-lit interior of that you can see from the outside of this pretty modest establishment. Seems to be just a single-story building, probably about like 30 by 40, 50 feet, like pretty small. And the sign on the outside is like kind of hanging by a hinge. And it is just a mug of like some kind of foamy liquid that is like overflowing and spilling off. And that is the symbol very clearly of the flowing flagon. Just from the general outside, you can see that there's a drunk man with his hand against the wall, his back to the door, currently puking. You see that there is another man kind of like on the opposite corner who seems to just be like leaning up against the wall with his foot against the wall, hood up, flicking a coin. And looking inside, you see a pretty dimly but well lit, just like a lot of dim light everywhere, tavern, just wax candles that seem to be lit, not even any like lanterns, but there's just plenty of them lit throughout the establishment. You see a variety of people in, it seems to be pretty, like probably like 85-90% capacity, and that's what you can see from the outside.
I just walk in straight to the bar.
You walk in, open the door. As soon as you open the door, immediately there are eyes on you. You are very clearly a person that has not walked into this place before. You see that there are very clearly, as soon as you enter, there are two sides of this place. Off to one side, you see a group of individuals of various species, but mainly humans, that seem to be, they wear like dark brown leathers. Some of them have aprons on. Most of them are sleeveless or very short sleeves with fingerless gloves. And you see that almost all of them have strapped to their back pickaxes. And then over to the left, you see a variety of people in kind of like dark gray cloth looking material, whether it be, you know, just a simple like cotton shirt and like slacks. Some of them have robes and cloaks, and immediately you recognize two different symbols on either group. The ones to the right, occasionally like under a hood you'll see it peeking out, or like on a hip or something like that. It's definitely something where that you usually have to look for, but it's just a fist holding up a pickaxe. And then over to the left, almost all of them to the left have the symbol right at the nape of their neck on whatever they're wearing. So if there's a hood, it's completely covering it. If they have long hair, it's covering it. But there are some individuals that you see symbol of the Hanged Men. And almost all of them are kind of immediately looking over at you. No one does or says anything, and conversations mainly continue. But you've definitely caught some attention. And you see a human woman behind the bar. She has long gray hair and a patch of scarred skin over her right eye that seems to have been removed from some type of injury. But she has sleeves rolled up and a large apron in front of her blouse. And she kind of like looks over at you with an eyebrow raised over the eye that is no longer there. She kind of looks at you and she says, "Oi, what are you doing here?"
Just grabbing a drink. Hey there, boys. I'll look over to the free miners. What are you drinking? Next round's on me.
Everyone kind of like looks to each other. Some of them start to chuckle a little bit. The woman at the bar kind of like leans forward. "Hey, listen, I don't know if you know where you are."
The Flowing Flagon in Barrington.
"I don't think this is the type of establishment you went to walk in."
What? You don't want me to buy beer from your establishment? I'm trying to give back to the economy.
Kind of looks at you. "Are you sure about this?"
Oh yeah. Don't worry about me. I got everything's fine over here.
Right. What it'll be then?
Whatever they're having. I'll just take one. Just give me like 10 of them. Wait, how much are they?
She looks over at you. She gets a mug, and there's a barrel over to the side. It's just open. The lid's like a little cocked. Pushes off the lid, dips the mug in the barrel, comes over, gives it to you. "How about we just start with that?"
Yeah, sure, no problem. How much for it?
On the house.
Wow, that's very considerate of you. But you know what? I'm feeling generous. I'll flick a gold coin.
You see the coin hits her chest and then falls to the ground.
Okay. Should I?
She kind of looks past you at everybody else. Has everybody else entered?
I was gonna give it a minute and then.
Okay, so
like,
the rest of you are outside right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest
Is
of you are
there a
outside
back
right
door?
now. There is not a back door that you can see from.
I do want to press the digitation and just make me and May like dirty. Just like
Okay.
really dirty.
Yeah,
stuff.
kind of the opposite of what the spell is usually used for. You just kind of like cause a gust of wind to just like kick up a bunch of the dust and mud around you to just kind of like get all over yourselves. Edmund kind of like looks at you, and you see him kind of like twirl his hands, and you see a whirl of wind kind of like splatter himself with mud and dust, and he kind of like gives you a thumbs up.
I just put my hands on the ground and start like patting some mud. I was like, I don't have any of that fancy stuff.
Back inside, the woman kind of looks at you, Flint, says, actually she doesn't say anything, she's still staring at you.
Well, that coin is for you, so, I mean...
Thanks.
Yep. And then I take the beer and I go over to the free miners.
Okay, there's most of the tables are taken up. There's like one free table, and then there's like two tables that have like a seat at them.
I pull an empty seat from one table and pull it up to the busiest table I can find. Hey there, boys. Another long day in the mine. I know how that is.
You see at this table there is a halfling man. Pretty large for a halfling. His muscles are very bulbous and sticking out. He has shock of gray hair in a mohawk, and gray, like a beard that is just on the bottom of his chin and continues down a long line until it ends in a braid. He kind of looks at you. You're not from around here, are you?
How'd you guess? Was it the fact that I'm a dwarf, or the fact that I decided to join your table when it doesn't seem like it's probably a good idea?
He actually kind of chuckles at that, and he says, probably all of the above. But also the fact that anyone with their right mind know not to wave in the face of a bunch of whiners who lost their job that their mine is closed here on a decade now. So no, not a good day at the mine, son.
Oops.
See, that was information I did not have prior to that. So, first of all, sorry for your loss. Second of all, what are you guys drinking? I'll grab you a drink.
Drinking the same piss you are, son.
Is this piss?
They kind of laugh, laugh at the table. Might as well be, one of them says.
Yeah, well, if you want, there's some beautiful mines in the Gora Hold. I could refer you, because I know
He
how.
spits. I don't want to hear about your high and mighty home. What are you doing in here, Green?
I just wanted to get to know you guys because I'm new to the town, and you seem like welcoming people.
Make a deception check.
11.
All right. He kind of puts up a hand. You two just stop talking. Do you stop talking?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
The next syllables out of your mouth better tell me the real reason you're here and what you're looking for. Because if they don't, well, I'll just have to separate your bottom jaw from the rest of your.
Cuinn confidently walks in the front door.
I would have walked in about now too. Maybe not with them, but still like.
Yeah, as the rest of you begin to stagger your way into this tavern, you see what has been described to Flint, and you see the two sides, and see that everybody kind of starts looking at all of you pretty much at this point. But we'll say Cuinn, you're first. Where do you head to? We'll say Maewyn is probably interested.
Yeah. I'll head up to the bar, just hold up 2 fingers and slide a gold across the bar without saying anything.
Make a persuasion check.
I just want to try to look tough.
21.
Yeah. You see her kind of like raise a brow. She's definitely not seen you before, but you're not acting unfamiliar. And so she just kind of nods her head, walks over, dips 2 mugs in the barrel, comes over, sets it in front of both of you, takes the gold, bites it, puts it in her pouch, and then just like leans back against the bar again.
You got entertainment?
Oh, you're looking like entertainment.
I'm pretty good friends with Alexander Nightshade, who's coming through town. He's looking for some places to play. Seems like quite the establishment.
You should try out the Horned Toad.
Not really his scene.
This isn't either.
I don't think he could I think he could really liven up the place. Maybe, sell a lot of drinks for you.
As you kind of say that, there's a slap of silver on the bar as you look over and you see one of these gray-clad hangmen. You see an orc with long red hair that kind of flows over his braids, over his shoulders. He slides the silver and like continues to just like look ahead, but says, "What are you doing here?"
Is it John Lennon?
Uh-huh.
I'm just here representing my client, looking to make a few coins like the rest of us.
This isn't really a place for you.
Sure seems like it. I'll just kind of look around the room. I feel pretty comfortable here.
Kind of moves his robe to the side. See a long short sword that he very prominently displays.
If I wasn't wearing sunglasses, you could see Quinn's eyes just like It's a nice blade.
Do you want it at your throat?
Not particularly.
And if
Look,
I
in
were...
our experience, anyone who's drinking needs some music, so we're just trying to come do a service for y'all.
Unfortunately, this isn't that type of establishment. So, if I were you, I would finish those mugs right quick. Make your way out.
So you're gonna look at me and tell me you don't like the smooth tones of some funky jazz?
Oh god.
For the first time, the orc turns and looks right at you.
I'll take off my sunglasses and just look him in the eyes.
I don't like the smooth tone of sultry jazz.
You're missing out. And I'll spit on the ground and just stare at him.
Make just a general persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
I would be at disadvantage with May there with you, so that's a great roll.
He's looking tough.
Oh no, I can roll once. Thank God for that.
I walk
Okay,
in.
I rolled an 11,
Oh.
so 16.
Listen, I had a long day. I'm really not trying to get into any fights or get any blood on my hands. So I'm just gonna kindly ask you, finish your drink and leave. We'll have no issues.
Down my drink.
Same.
I walk out the door.
Yep.
In this amount of time, back over at the other table, Flint, the man across from you who's been talking to you the entire time kind of looks at you.
Yeah, first of all, I don't know those two people that came in. Second of all, I'm looking for, I've had on good authority that the hanged men are doing some dirty things to some people that I know, and I'm trying to rough them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Hey, Vince! You see the orc that Cuinn and Maewyn were talking to kind of look over. The halfling kind of points over at you, Flint, and says, "This right arsehole here wants us to break the truce, kick some hanged man ass. What do you say to that, Vince?" Vince kind of leans over, or looks over, kind of like very incredulously. "Oh, is that right? You have a problem with the hanged man?"
I whisper to the halfling, hey man, why'd you do that?
He leans over. "Because I don't like you."
I feel like I've been nothing but cordial and inviting to you.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Hey, Vince. No, nothing's going on here.
At this point, Chad walks in. Chad, you see, you kind of like switch places with Cuinn and Maewyn as they leave. As you walk in, you see the orc that was talking to them is kind of like strutting his stuff and like intimidatingly walking towards Flint, who seems to be a little flustered in this moment.
Likely being in places like this and knowing my way around like this kind of party, at least I would assume to an extent, being in probably some like underground fights.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just kind of see that happen, smirk, and like on the side of the hanged man side, I'll just kind of like lean against the wall and just like casually watch what's gonna happen.
Okay. The orc continues to step closer to you.
I stand up. I get right in his face. I say, "Hey, listen here, Vince. You and your kind have been causing trouble in town, and I don't think that's cool. And I'm sure if push came to shove, the miners here would back me up as a fellow miner. Right, guys?"
He kind of smirks, nods his head. "Flint, I'm sorry. I should have been nicer to you."
Oh, wow, thank you.
He starts to kind of walk away towards the entrance. "You know, people get a bad rap for being outsiders.
Yeah.
I'm sure you meant nothing by it. He continues to walk a little bit.
Yeah.
Gets to the front door, swings it shut, puts down this large bar in front of it.
Hey.
Turns back around. You see, the thing is...
Yes.
And you see the woman behind the bar go, oh, and she just, she turns and she walks, and you see her lift up this, like, hatch in the floor, and then just kind of, like, sit back. And he looks at you, vents the orc, and says, the truce here at the Flowing Flagon, well, it really only involves the hanged men and 3 miners. I don't see any markings on you. I doubt the free miners are going to be claiming you. And the man who you were talking to just kind of laughs really boisterously. And Vince kind of looks back at you.
This is all a fun joke.
We see inside the building.
Yeah, you can see that. You saw the orc shut the door. You heard like a latch, and if you want to easily enough, you can there's windows. You can move to the side and kind of see that Flint is now starting to become surrounded. There's a couple of hanged men.
Cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the orc.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
From outside, wisdom saving.
Do they need to be able to hear you?
So you can see within range, just as you can see within range.
Okay, cool.
So they make a wisdom saving throw. 13 is the DC.
They rolled a 10.
So they're incapacitated on the floor laughing.
So you see Vince, this orc, kind of get closer. I'm gonna need you to jump down that little hole.
Hold on. Let me just grab a couple beers first. I like to be drunk when I jump down the hole.
And you see Vince kind of fall to the ground, and you see they're laughing and there's a smile across their face, but their eyebrows are pure confusion and a little bit of fear. Do they re-roll it at the end of every turn?
At the end of each turn, yeah. And I'm trying to look at Flint and just
you see the orc kind of looking and the orc starts to look up at you almost as if maybe you're doing this, and is laughing over and over again. Everybody else is kind of hands are going on hilts.
All right, everyone. See you later. Walk out, or I try to open the door.
You go to the door, and hanged man kind of step. One that's standing right next to Chad starts to cross Chad to step in front of you.
Hey there.
He's gonna roll the saving throw again. That is a natural 20.
Saves.
So, so you see him kind of what was that? What did you do to me?
I just told you.
Takes out his short sword.
Hey, wait. There's no need to take out a weapon. I'm about to leave. Clearly, there's a misunderstanding here.
Yes, you're right. There is. The misunderstanding is that you think you're about to leave. In the hole, dwarf.
I take a step forward and say, I don't know this guy, and I don't know you. Didn't seem like he was coming here for a fight, but I was. So, if he is struggling to just let it happen, I'm happy to jump in the hole.
Make a persuasion check.
We'll both go in the hole.
God.
Have Rosie and you been made aware of?
I mean, you saw everybody enter. You saw Cuinn and Maewyn exit, looking like that fucking didn't work. You saw the orc incredulously and maliciously shut and lock the door. You definitely saw Cuinn cast the spell. I mean, you're not necessarily and then you're also
by the
able
window
to
saying Flint, come on.
Yeah, and you can see Cuinn being worried. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, at that point in time, kind of, running up to the window as well to see what's going on.
You see currently Flint with his back to the door with a short sword at his neck, and to the side, right off to the side, Chad is standing there kind of like with his hands up talking.
What can you see?
Edmund's looking in like above you, and he says, "It's not good."
Oh,
No.
this is terrible. I knew we shouldn't have done this.
I
Did anybody
did
pick
get
this lock?
a 23.
23. He kind of looks at you, looks you up and down. How'd you know of this place? You're not from around here.
Yeah, that's true. I just, like I said, been traveling, looking for a place to have a fight, and heard of the Hanged Men, and seems like the good place to start.
Kind of looks over to one of his men and nods, and that man takes out a short sword and puts it towards you, and then Vince directs it, like points towards both of you. Sure. Let's let you both down there. Get some information out of you. He gestures.
What's in the hole? Just.
He like breaks a little skin on the side of your neck. How about you go find out?
Don't ruin this scarf. I just got it.
I'll go find out. Like I said,
Yeah, the guy kind of like pushes you forward, Chad.
Looks like they're pushing them into this hole.
Hey,
Nothing
what do we
good
do?
happens in the hole.
Should I?
Yeah.
Should I?
Should we break the window? I don't know.
I'm going to the hole.
Flint
don't
and
know.
Chad are
Like-
getting pushed towards the hole.
Can I try to like pick the lock? Is that a possibility?
There is not a
what-
physical lock. There's literally just a wooden bar that was
Okay.
placed down in front of the door.
I mean, I can try and beat the door down.
Break the window
I
seems easier.
Break the window.
could-
Go, Cuinn. Go.
What?
What?
You have thaumaturgy, right?
No. Oh.
I do.
You.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that like Edmund looks over at you, and he says, "I can get a gust of wind going if you can try to use your." Because thaumaturgy technically says that it allows you to open doors. I know not locked doors, but it does say that
Yeah.
you can open doors, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that like you and Edmund can attempt to like put enough force from under that bar to like blow it off so that the door can be opened. If you want to attempt to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so he's gonna roll his like so basically just roll a spell attack, like roll your spell attack or your spell modifier and your proficiency.
I'm also gonna use disguise self to make myself look like a hanged man.
Okay, yeah, easily you just kind of like choose
Like
a
dark
mixture
cloak
of like
and-
stuff
yeah.
that you saw in there. Yeah.
I'm using my fancy new dice that Allison got me.
Ooh.
It's 16 plus 6, so a 22.
That's definitely going to help with Edmund's 12. So Edmund kind of like reaches his hand out and speaks these arcane, like primordial words, and a gust of wind kind of like shoots under the door and then like straight up and like a little bit of a twister. And you use your thaumaturgy, and there's like a shaking at the door. Chad and Flint, as you're walking, you hear the like bar of the door like shoot up, and the door just kind of like swings open, and both you and Edmund are like there at the door, kind of like looking up. Everybody like turns and looks towards the door.
Can I pop my head in between them and say, "We're here to see Alexander Nightshade."
And that is where we are going to stop this week's session. That's a nice little button. We're about to get into something intense, and I don't know if it's going to be solved in the amount of time that we have. So we'll go ahead and stop there. Thank you all for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central, is the next session in our Monster Hearts campaign, emceed by Angie. Me, Ian, Emily, Matt, and JMO are in that. So please come watch us continue on with that dark, awesome story. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And as always, Everybody say bye.
Bye.